But anyway, to the point, my friends. You know, all of us have something in common here. You know, QT is, you know, one-uppers from a lesser-known PvE guild known as Quantify. You know, Sam is also an elitist. HP. Deroir is an elitist who's actually in the game as well. And I am the Lord of the Clowns from Soul. So you know we're all about that raiding action. That's what we're here to talk about today, guys. You know, we even brought in the elitists. We even brought in one up, guys. Okay. Talk to us about raids. And we have had a new raid.
By the way,
World's 5th, easy, dude, easy. But anyway,
World's 5th.
We have acquired. We have acquired a new raid, my friends. All of Chains. It's difficult. You know, it's Doom is hard, and I struggle with this difficulty on a daily basis. It's caused a lot of pain. But I think should we just go through it boss by boss? The first boss, guys, Soulless Horror. Soulless Horror. It's not particularly difficult.
but amazing though.
Yeah.
Really good boss design in my opinion. I love it. Like
exactly.
I really enjoyed the first boss. It was amazing actually.
Yeah,
it felt a little bit like Slothazor because it was
of the
kind
fixate.
With the fixate, like the tanking mechanic is completely new, right? Like you have 2 tanks actually.
Yeah.
So that's something. And then like it's condition heavy as well, and you have to move around. So it reminds me a little bit of Sloth, to be honest, but I really like the boss fight actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely really enjoy the whole, like, there's a lot of responsibility in the movement, like the whole tanking and like taking it where it actually needs to be and stuff. I genuinely really enjoy when that comes in play hard, and the Soulless Horror really pulls that off really greatly. In my opinion, it's a really fun fight, just in general. There's just a shit ton of mechanics, and you kind of gotta be very, very quick at adapting and moving with the flow.
Is it really being quick at adapting, or just all the time being looking at your minimap? Because I'm at this point when I do the encounter, there is so much clutter on the field that I am down to looking where the heads are on the minimap to know if I have to dodge a wall or not. It's
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like it's pretty annoying though. Like I would have liked maybe a little bit less visual clutter.
I mean, I don't mind the visual clutter so much. Maybe, and we haven't actually had that many hours on the Soulless Horror because it kind of, not to toot my own horn, but it kind of went very smoothly, really fast. But have any of you guys actually found a pattern to the movement of the walls? Because it seems random.
Yeah, it is
seems
random.
yeah.
It definitely is. It has to be.
Yeah. There must be some kind of like pseudo pattern, but I can't for the life of me figure it out.
The only pattern there is as you advance in the fight, you get more individual wall blocks. Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But there is no pattern which explains how they're going to be split over the arena, which direction they will come from.
Yeah, exactly.
We tried to like look at something if it was like the Sabata cannons, north, south, west, east. Like we tried to look if there was something, but after an hour of just writing down each pattern we got, someone was actually doing it, then nothing made sense.
Someone on Reddit actually said that if you tank in the middle, like if you keep the boss in the middle all the time, you will always have space between the walls in the middle. I haven't tested that.
No. We tanked in the middle and we got that big bar that just does the entirety of the arena.
Yeah.
It happened more than once.
Yeah.
So that's wrong. And that's how we kited yesterday in CM.
Someone told me the same actually, that if you go in the middle, then nothing happens. You don't get the giant wall. But I guess that's just not the case.
Walls
No,
just
I totally
want to avoid the
wall.
boss or what?
No, they definitely don't. They overlap. They overlap all the time. I got the big wall when we were tanking the middle yesterday on stream, so I can pull that up. There is no pattern.
Yeah.
Did you keep the boss in the middle all the time, though?
I'm pretty sure we kept it in the middle most of the time. Like, we maybe moved out once due to a bad... the flesh golems. Due to a bad flesh golem push, we had to move away from the middle. But when we got back in the middle, we got the big wall. So I'm pretty sure it happens even if you stand in the middle.
I bet there is some kind of obscure, and I'm very curious to see when somebody actually finds this, but there's some kind of obscure pseudo pattern which is probably tied to like player movement or boss movement or the tank movement. One of those 3 factors. Just like the sappers on Sapatha, which will always hit like the the northmost player at the moment of impact when they're there. But it took so long for anyone to actually realize that, and I'm genuinely really curious to see.
Definitely in a few weeks we'll have that.
Yeah.
Well, in some ways, quite fair RNG like that is kind of the way to keep the fight fresh. Because otherwise, if there was a pattern to it, people would just figure out kind of like the path where you have to you move the least, and then you just burn the boss into oblivion, right? Whereas with the way it is now, there is actually some kind of reactive element, like like Deroir was saying, right? You have to, something might just come out of nowhere. You got to get out. You got to get out of there, man. If you don't get out of there, you're instantly dead because there's an instant kill mechanic. And what's really cool is the way the tanking works, right? So the longer you have the aggro, the more damage you take because of the stacks. And honestly, like this is Minstrel Stats' fault, man. Like this is Minstrel Chrono. Like this is why they put this in the game. Is because they realized that, wow, the only way we can kill the indestructible Minstrel Chrono is either by instant death mechanics or stacking damage modifiers. So they had to put that in the game, and they have countered Minstrel Chrono. So
those are actually the two favorite factors of the entire fight for me: the tanking and the walls, because it adds that level of randomness. Those two factors make or break that fight. It's golden to me. I really think it's well designed.
I just wish they would make the tell of tanking better. Like you only have a small icon, and like it's kind of hard to focus on the mechanics and look how many stacks you have already. So I wish there was a better way to see how many stacks you have, like above your head or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. It would have been good to have like the fixate with a little number on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe like this bomb, like special action key icon, which you have on Doom, right? The circle, which fills up or something, and then once it fills up completely, you basically know you take like increased damage now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that would have been good. But I actually, at least on normal mode, it kind of works out that you can get into a bit of a rhythm where you can pretty much press it off cooldown, I think. The tanks can kind of swap on cooldown and it works out mostly okay on the special action hotkey, at least on normal mode. Maybe a little bit less so on challenge mode. Or actually, maybe it is the same on challenge mode because I think the stacks just build up faster rather than... Yeah, they build up quicker, right? I think. So I think you can kind of more or less press it off cooldown, maybe kind of a little bit. But I don't know. It is better to just keep an eye on the stacks. And that is a bit annoying. Saw some of those Reddit complaints, saw some of those Reddit threads complaining about how the new raid is playing the UI. But I don't know, I'd say that's a little harsh.
I think that playing the UI thing was about open world, the new maps or something, no?
Wait, what wasn't the raid? Didn't someone complain about the raid as well?
No.
I think it was about open world.
Open world. Oh, never mind. I'm not even reading these threads. But yeah, there are various icons.
It's the same thing in every every instance or whatever.
Like, honestly, like raids and open world is the same thing to me, dude. It's just it's all
the same thing.
Yeah,
so open world is super hard. Is that what you're saying?
raids are super easy, Deroir.
Oh, that okay. Yeah, I got it. Gotcha.
Easy one shot. Some of those open world mobs are scary, man. One shot you.
Oh yeah, it was open world. This was for the. I was just looking at the thread. It was for the bounties in the open world.
Yeah, because I got
it's
the
just one of those.
Isn't there like a bunch of weird icons you can get?
But there's one. There's one. It's the stop and go thing, where it's and the complaint is really actually super stupid because there's a red and a green light above the boss as well, so it's just kind of redundant. But you get this little buff if you're able to attack it. Anyways, we're not here to talk about bounties.
Whoa.
So
maybe we are, right?
Maybe we are.
Yeah.
Maybe we are.
I don't know.
Maybe the raid was that boring.
No.
Let's go back to.
The raid was exciting indeed, and the first boss was definitely a great start. Yeah, I like the first boss. It was good. I like the design choices there. There is definitely the argument that. Oh yeah, go ahead.
There's one issue that I have with that fight, which is an issue that we've had throughout the raids, and it is that once again, all the mechanics are on the support classes. It's starting to get really annoying, but it's really a thing. Like your DPS, it's one more encounter where they have nothing to do on Soulless Horror. They just do damage. and you have the Chronos tanking, and you have, well, at least in our groups, we had the druids doing all the management of the flesh golems. It's always like this. It's just the one gripe that I have with that encounter, apart from the effect cluster. The support classes have to do everything again.
Technically, you don't need to, right? Like, you're not forced to do it. Like, you could also use a DPS NG, for example, and he could big ol' bomb the flesh golems or something. But it's just like people, they want to be efficient. They want to keep the DPS classes doing DPS, and the support, like a druid, he doesn't do damage anyway. So you might just go and focus. Like, you might just go.
3k DPS, one up.
Yeah.
It matters.
Well, Carr would say full Harrier is bad, though. You should use concentration sigil. So.
Ooh.
I mean, joke's on you. I play with a concentration sigil.
Wait, and Harrier.
And full Harrier?
No. I had Magi pieces. You know that health bar must grow.
Oh, okay. The full optimized build, Magi,
min-max.
Magi Harriers, and
67% exactly.
Wait, is it exactly?
So 100 exact.
Whoa,
yeah. 100 exact.
It's the same thing I'm running here. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
There was did you get it off of that thread from the dude who was like, yeah, I've fully optimized all of the different.
No. I made my own.
That was fucking great. That was a good read. Awesome stuff.
He flamed me so hard.
Yeah, he flamed you. That was funny as well. But the rest of the post was gold.
No, like I made my own, and with the new stats infusions that we got from the fractal. Like when I was at work, I just like read the patch notes again the day after. And I did all my spreadsheet stuff around to make sure that I would optimize all my druid builds again, which was pretty good. Actually, like these new stats infusions are great. To be fair, yes.
I've been wanting concentration sigils for the longest fucking time. It was a dream come true. Concentration, or not sigils, infusions. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So happy.
You can finally min-max everything.
Exactly.
It'll be great.
Totally.
I think the thing with everything being on the support class, that is true, but you know there is still some responsibility on the DPS. They have to be active, right? They just have to do slightly less. But then again, you know, you could take a really common strategy that actually I've seen crop up is actually taking DPS warriors. So you take DPS warriors with Wild Blow and just bop the
we did that
the guys all the time. Like another thing I've seen is, and it's something we used for challenge mode actually, is we took a Mirage with focus offhand, and so you'd have an extra pull.
Jesus.
As well, an extra focus pull, this specifically like double mesmer and the focus pull on the Mirage as well, and then we had a Wild Blow as well. So
you know, Teapot, there's
kinda,
such a thing as too much.
You can kind of offload it onto the DPS classes
let's take
as well,
a push
right?
on each class, because this way we won't fail.
Well,
that's basically what we did.
Yeah, I mean you're doing the challenge modes only once anyway, so like
I don't know.
Might as well just go all in.
We did CM's second try yesterday with just 2 druids with longbows. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean CM is not too hard.
It
feels kind of the same.
Yeah,
exactly the same actually.
What changes on CM exactly? I haven't actually done the CM Soulless Horror.
The tanks die faster, the platform shrinks faster, and she's got more HP.
Oh, okay.
And the flesh worms, they respawn.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, the flesh worms respawn, so that's kind of annoying, but it's not actually that bad because they just die in one epidemic anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. You just run the Scourge anyway.
Yeah,
it's just normal.
Yeah.
Necro Wing.
Yeah, it's like it is a Necro boss.
Yes.
Like Necro is really good there because you can even take Corrosive Poison card as well, so you can destroy all the projectiles. So the worms just don't do anything. It's really good.
You actually run CPC?
Well, you can if you want. I mean, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think we had like a bunch of Necros running it. We just chained it pretty much infinitely. It was good. It was good. Yeah, it's really good that there's different strategies. I've seen a lot of ways to approach that. And hey, Scourge Portal, man, like we even used it, dude. Even used the portal memes where you portal past the wall, like stuff like that, where you can actually approach it differently. Is so great.
It's just so extremely hard to see the portal somehow.
Yeah, that
you just don't move. Like it's trust. It's the blind trust. You know that it's gonna be the first. No, because it has priority on interaction.
Yeah.
Which is good. Even if there are banners on top, the moment the portal becomes active, it becomes the one thing you can interact with. So you just have to wait as the wall creeps towards you and trust blindly that it will come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is actually, you know, as a bit of an offside, that aside, sorry, that would actually be something that I'd be interested in seeing getting changed. Like, I would just increase the radius of the portal, man, and also give it priority over the effect LOD, because it actually just doesn't render sometimes. It's just
It's never rendered for me. I just trust it.
So you just can't. I can't see it. It's just what's
Which
going
is why
on here?
it has to be put on top of the boss, and everyone must stack on it. That's the trick.
Yeah. It's annoying as hell. It is blind trust. You have to. It's the leap of faith, the portal of faith. But I don't know. It's a little unfortunate. So yeah, ArenaNet, change that. Change portal, dude. Make it like Mesmer portal except green. How about that?
No, that would be so dumb though.
Well, not exactly like Mesmer portal. It'll still function the same way, but they just need to make it so you can see it.
Oh yeah.
Sandy and shady.
So you want more visual cluster? Is that where clutter?
Yeah, I want more visual noise. More visual noise. Yeah. Well, on the visual noise of that fight, I mean, I don't know. When we first saw it, we thought, "What the hell is this? This is like complete visual aids." Then, then I think it's maybe not actually that bad once you get used to it. I mean, maybe the walls going through the red pools might kind of fuck with you, but then you've got the minimap icon and the skull icon, and the kind of smoky effect as well. So I think once you get used to it, it's probably not that bad. But yeah, like it's true that it is a bit kind of what the hell's going on here, man?
Isn't that kind of like generally applicable to like all the different encounters? As soon as you like walk in, it just seems like a clusterfuck. You don't know what is what, like what is attached or what skill is attached to what and what does exactly what. So everything just overlaps. But the moment that you get experience with it and you get into it and start working your way through what attacks come from where, you just get a better perspective, and it doesn't seem like such a cluster after like going at it for an hour. Yeah, it seems much more manageable because
I don't think it'll be that bad. I don't think it's that bad anymore. I mean, we had a good amount of practice on it, done it a few times now, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's totally fine.
Yeah,
it was a fun fight, but it was kind of easy. Yeah. And I got it. Like I have to admit, like beating it as fast as we kind of did, I did get a little worried that the rest of the wing was going to be. Yeah, I got worried for like the rest of the wing would just be another face roll again, and we wouldn't have memes that were saying this is 100% too hard. But yeah. But that I was proved wrong. My suspicions were dulled. Yeah. And we got the memes. And we got all the hard content.
Are you dropping it in the chat yet? The one post?
Everyone saw it. We gotta wait till we get to Doom anyway, man. We're not even there yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'd say it was a pretty good encounter. I would say it's one of the hard. I don't know. Honestly, I think if you were just coming into raiding, if you were a new player, I would actually say that fight's probably pretty difficult, right? I don't know.
Definitely. Actually, not so much, because today I did a training run with viewers from my Discord, and it went actually quite fine. We took it to 7%, I think, within the span of an hour and a half.
But was that people who have not raided at all?
Some of them have not raided at all, and some of them have exclusively raided by doing training ever so often with me, and they have less than 50 LI.
Okay.
So, like, actually, once you explain everything, give everyone a dedicated role, and have them focus on that, plus you call the movements, of course, you call the walls, you call the CC, etc., it's fine. Like, as long as coordination is present, I think that anyone can do the first encounter.
Yeah.
But you need people to listen and be coordinated, and one person to call everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, right? I think it's a great fight to introduce people to raids in another sense, right? Because there's quite a lot going on, and you have to be quite coordinated. You have to be very aware of the situation, otherwise a wall's going to creep up on you and just bop you and insta kill you. I think that's sort of it will set the mechanical bar and kind of awareness bar quite high. So if you went into this raid first and then you went to another raid after that, I think you'd probably have quite a good time, right?
I think what this wing does really well is like it punishes people who tunnel vision only on one thing. Like it punishes them so hard because like there are a lot of mechanics and a lot of like one-shot mechanics. It's not like someone missed the green, he's down, and then you can res him. No, like if you fuck up something, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like, and I really like that actually. That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I completely agree because it's I talked to Paul about this when he was in chat. It's kind of it's working around like the limitations of the way Guild Wars 2 is made. So you have the down state. So like unless you go, even if you die to a mechanic, well, you know, like 10 people just res you up instantly, right? You know, or you just get instantly healed up by a druid, or the mesmer distorts it, right? And there is some stuff you can distort there, but you can't distort the walls, guys. Okay, that's not going to help you. So having that sort of stuff is working around the memes that we have at our disposal, right, as the players. So yeah, I think it's a well-designed fight.
One of my biggest gripes in general with the raiding scene in Guild Wars has always been that there is no all-around like squad-wide personal responsibility. It's always been all the responsibility has gone to one or two, maybe three players, and the rest is just there to deal damage. And for this wing, that entire attitude got really shook up, and I couldn't actually be happier. But we'll get to that at the end, especially.
Yep.
Because that is the golden boy.
Yeah, the
I
golden
am waiting
boy.
for this part so hard.
All right then, I think that kind of covers the first boss to a certain extent.
Yep.
And then we have a little bit of an intermission. For a while, we have two kind of free loot chests. Well, I don't know, at least one.
Free LIs.
At least one. At least one
Yeah.
free LI.
Mhm.
So the River of Souls, like, and initially, basically right up until the end, I kind of assumed this was just like Gorsful Spirit Run, pretty much. It's really easy.
And you were sorely mistaken, right?
Yeah, what was I saying? But hey, I mean, if they're gonna throw an extra chest in there, I'm gonna take it, dude. That's like 3 ascended gear. That's fine by me. You know, but yeah, it's pretty easy. You just walk along up. How long does it actually take? Does it last like 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes of walking along a path with an NPC, and it's pretty simple
mission.
stuff. Yeah, it's an escort mission. You have to kill the things that disable the shield. You got to kill the rifts. You got to kill the skeletons, and you got to dodge the walls. And that's and you got to CC the bombers. But like none of that is really difficult. I don't know. Do you guys have anything specific to say about this? I mean, it's kind of a cool event. It looks cool.
Well, I hate every encounter which you can't speed up. Like if you play well and you can't speed up, I hate. Like for example, I like escort. Yeah, when it's just time gate. Escort is kind of okay, like in Wing 3, but Trio, for example, is just terrible because you can't speed it up at all. Like whatever you do, like you just end up with the same time anyway.
Well, you can give her super speed and swiftness.
It's really hard to give it though. Like,
Yeah.
It's really hard because like
you
the
just
game
put the
prior.
focus.
The focus.
Well,
The focus in front of her, temporal curtain.
I don't know. Like in progression, I was playing healing ref, and I was on like literally inside her, so I could give her swiftness, but she never got it. Like
Yeah, just use the temporal curtain. She will walk through it.
yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. But it's the super speed.
Not
strats.
all my ideas are bad.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Full Harrius for one.
Well, you're at HP now. You have to come up with all
Well, I
the
mean,
strats.
Teapot, you said like it's like the spirit run from Wing 1, right? But ArenaNet, actually, they said that Wing 1 has 4 encounters, and the spirit run is actually like the whole event after Veil Guardian is a whole encounter as well. They just don't give any LI for it. They just so there's that.
So it's kind of a change of
no,
policy then. A change in policy.
Yeah, I think in future, whenever they do like an event or something, they will always add a chest and then like a light drop there.
Nice.
I have to add something that's a little bit weird because they added tokens as well, both to the second and third encounter of this wing, which is basically like you this is me coming from a decoration standpoint, but like the actual trophies that come out, you get a trophy of a fucking staircase. Like what?
Where's the issue?
Can we not get trophies for doing escort missions or like stupid shit? I really enjoy the tokens and all the kill proofs or whatever that you get from the actual bosses, but I don't know. It felt a little weird. It felt a little weird to me that you're getting LIs and tokens and everything from doing escort missions, like intermissions was what it felt like.
Puck groups will ask for that kill proof though.
Yeah,
they will.
Yeah, apparently.
And
I have actually deleted my kill proofs. Like I instantly used them for the guild hall like a retard.
Wait, what?
I just kept the Doom ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you didn't delete.
You just got you just
No,
you
I
spend them.
clicked
You spend them.
You know, like I don't know. I left the raid and I just double clicked them like a retard. Instant regrets.
Yeah. Well,
the stair one is actually now that we're on the topic, is actually the second statue ever that has visual effects as well.
ooh.
Demas was the first one.
Has it got
and
soul
now
effects around it or something like some souls?
Yeah, it's like the stair, the soul, the
Yeah.
river of souls,
Yeah.
like spirals around it. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like it's a super cool trophy for an escort event, and it feels dirty to me. It does.
I don't know. I'm not really against like giving away a few like pretty easy LI and easy loot for like people who are really new and kind of especially considering the last boss, right? But kind of considering people getting into it, like getting their first few kills. I don't really, trying to get some like easy LI to get that legendary armor. I think stuff like this is fine. Because that's like one very easy LI a week, right? I mean, like, anyone can do that. Like you don't even have to be remotely. You don't even have to do DPS at all, right? You don't have to do DPS. All you have to do is like dodge the walls, and you don't even die to the walls, right? Even the walls don't really punish you here.
There are even some neat tricks already. Like someone told us yesterday that you can just this part where the walls from the first encounter come as well.
Yeah.
During the escort event, you can just portal like your whole team over them basically, and then wait for the NPC. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good tactic until you get hit by a random wall and someone decides to pick the souls instead of you, and just die alone at the back.
Feels bad.
Happened to me yesterday. Yeah.
The only thing I hate in this like escort encounter is like the bubble is orange and the walls are orange as well.
Yeah.
Okay, this it's like sometimes it's really hard, even though they're coming. It's really hard to see them, especially when there are also like ads and other effects, like people are casting that shit and stuff.
It's a little annoying. I definitely. I
just wish they would give like the bubble or something a little bit more translucent effect or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the red color with the orange walls is a little bit. You'll eventually like it's very on rails, very scripted. So eventually, people will
like
after
jokes
a few
aside,
tries, you just kind of learn what's going to happen, right? You learn what's coming up, and
pretty much.
It's pretty.
But also, if you just reduce your graphical settings to the lowest, but keep the character model limit to the highest, you will see everything without failure.
Does it stop rendering the bubble like in 90 CM or something?
I'm not sure.
No. It still
it doesn't. But
the biggest...
you see all the effects on the ground because every effect is going to get rendered, but more simply, so you can't miss them. You see the orange for everything.
Well, there is actually one of the things that accidentally gets called from I don't remember which setting it actually is, but we had two players during that encounter who all of a sudden just said like, I can't see the walls. The walls that come towards you during that event, they get called away from one of the settings, and that should not be a thing.
Yeah, you only see the black smoke and
exactly.
That's what happened to some of us.
It comes at you ominously.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Speaking of the easy LIs and stuff, because we're gonna move on to another subject in a second, but I just kind of want to catch on this topic real quick. What do you guys actually think about us still getting LIs in the Path of Fire raid?
Well, I made a Reddit post yesterday about that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Downvoted really hard because like people they really want the LI apparently. Like my point in that post was like, what's the point of getting LI if you can't use it for anything, right? Like if you only own POF, you can still do the raid, and if you get LI, but you basically need HOT to craft legendary armor. And some people said, yeah, now we are getting legendary accessories and stuff and rings, like maybe you will need LI for them, and like
that's the biggest trouble I see.
Yeah,
because I always assume the baseline of like everyone has all the game modes, like whatever, but like for all of us who have just been like at the raids for years now, we're completely invalidating the prestige that is the legendary ring, because the moment that they actually add the gift, let's say it's even like a full-on 250. It's a full stack just to get that one ring. Let's just for the sake of argument, we're still gonna have it. We'll invalidate that immediately, and so it's not a prestige reward anymore. It's invalidated from the get-go. That's the problem that I see. That's the biggest problem that I see.
Yeah, it is a bit
I
pointless
agree.
when people have like so many insights at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
people got insights for day, and by the time the ring's actually out, right, it'll be we'll have
Even more, yeah.
we'll have like a
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no.
I mean, how many are we getting a week now? What, 17 insights a week?
17,
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's going to get out of control pretty quickly, you know. I mean,
I almost have 1,000 now, and I have like it's starting to take space in my bank. It's an issue.
yeah,
Yeah, I think like ally are a big problem in the game, in my opinion. Like as for pucks as well, right? Like people they still want kill proof, like ping your ally and shit. And a lot of people can't join groups because they don't have enough ally, even though they are like good players or something. I think like the game really needs an ally sync, to be honest. Like, even if it's like something small, a little bit extra gold for raiders. I mean, raiding like it costs you a lot if you wipe, right? Like you buy food and stuff. Like it costs you 1 gold already, your food, and then if it takes like puck groups, they take a little longer than pre-made groups. So if it takes you half an hour for a boss and 1 gold is your food, and then you gain only 2 gold, I don't know. It feels like kind of weird. Should be.
But
It's
At-
about
at the
the
same time,
journey.
though.
One up. It's about the fun.
But like, at
well,
the
yeah,
same
I
time,
read
though,
for the fun. I don't care about the gold, to be honest. It's
the
just
the envoy armors are still the cheapest ascended armors to craft in the game now because of the legendary insights. Because they basically gated behind it at 25 gate, making it that much easier to get and that much cheaper by default.
well, my only problem with
But,
that is like
yeah.
most people who have a shit ton of LI, they have so many raid drops or fractal drops already. They don't even need to craft ascended armor ever.
Yep.
It's the same as like when Guild Wars 2 included raids like for the first time. I mean, you did so much fractals. You had a
Yeah.
bank tab full of
Full of
ascended
armor
armors.
chests. Yeah.
It was just ready to be swapped
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
And it's the same for me. Like I will never ever craft like I don't have the gold for legendary armor, and I will never craft ascended armor in my life. I get the drops from fractals, and I have like I don't know 17 characters fully ascended already. If I need something, I just change stats or something. So and I still have the LI. I still have like almost 1k LI. I need to drop them on something,
You change
even if
stats?
it's not big. Sorry.
You actually change stats. You bother with that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, when you have so many sets, like I tend just to salvage one and use another so I can get space from my bank.
No, I don't do that. I actually change stats. It's not even too expensive. It's like
It's not that
on-
bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not expensive. It's just that I have so many boxes that I'm just deleting them.
I rather
Wow.
have boxes, to be
Wow.
honest.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, Sam.
That seems like kind of a
Whoa.
waste. Sam.
We have a bad
Whoa,
over here.
yeah, you
No,
do.
like-
Oh, you delete your
I'm
ascended
just
armor
deleting
chest.
it. Well, look at me, I'm
Jesus.
cool.
Yo,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
bullying me, guys. I didn't mean it that way. I just meant you have so many boxes coming from raids and fractals. At one point, like even my mule character dedicated to my red ascendants is full. It's horrible.
Impressive, man.
Like I don't know. I needed to. I went on a spree and I salvaged everything on that character because I couldn't handle it anymore.
I mean, you're rich, right? I'm fucking poor man, dude. Like,
He is rich.
yeah, but that's because you have tried grievers. Shouldn't have.
Rating doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Oof. Feels bad, man.
Well, it doesn't pay, but market manipulation from Sam does pay. Okay, like, that's how you make the money.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was definitely nothing at all this patch.
Yeah.
No.
at
Wow,
least I get
you're-
money
yeah,
for doing
ooh.
benchmarks, right?
Yeah.
Self-roasted.
That was a self roast there, guys. That's nice.
Ah, that's
That's
good.
very clean, man.
Spicy. Spicy.
But anyway, I'll just say the second encounter. Yeah, it's a little bit of fun, right? It's not really much to say about that, but you know, it is what it is. Free loot, easy. Yeah.
Just a moment.
It's cool, it's
I have
cool.
to tell you one up that you suck at Guild Wars 2. That's coming from Brazil.
Brazil is.
Well, it's not wrong. I do suck. Yeah.
I almost no.
Feels
no,
bad.
never mind.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, and there is a nice pasta about you.
The famed Brazil
Ooh.
is showing up here. This is wow.
And he's not even on tea time.
Brazil back on TeaTime soon.
No, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Brazil and Deroir again. You enjoy that? Getting roasted again, Deroir?
That'd
Getting
get- that would
roasted
be
more
fun.
than the YouTube comments, you know?
I'm gonna yeah, exactly. I'll say this one thing, and I think I'm probably, apart from you, Teapot, I'm probably the only other host on TeaTime who could actually be in the same room as Brazil, without just like having a mental breakdown because of all the shit talk that he does.
Wait, what?
I mean, let's be honest, he talks a lot of shit.
Whoa!
I still love you, Brazil, though. You do.
Well, it's not okay to just like try and roast him when he can't fight back.
Wait.
That's
No,
not
I'm not
okay.
roasting him. No, you're misunderstanding. He like, I love the guy. He's a super cool dude.
Yeah.
Don't misunderstand here. But like, he does talk a lot of shit.
Fair enough.
I mean, let's get beyond this, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Usually that's not how I describe the people I like, but you do you. That's fine.
I mean, okay. I feel like this got completely misinterpreted. That was not intended as any kind of bad way. Or
I
what?
completely misunderstood.
I don't even know what that. I don't really know what that means.
Let's just move on to the third encounter, shall we?
Yeah.
Or actually, the third encounter, which is a triple encounter.
Yeah, and it's
Talk about that one.
This is really interesting actually. Is the way that this is such a funny encounter for me because we made it so much harder for ourselves, like especially with the Broken King, right? Because the way you're supposed to do this is something again that's totally new, which is why this isn't exactly. It's not particularly difficult, but it is a really cool new concept. Like you are supposed to split up and handle these. Well, two of the encounters separately, then you join up for the last one. Because like the faster you do the Broken King, the worse it gets for you. Because there's loads of those ice patches, right? The faster you kill them, the more spawn. It just turns into a massive clown fiesta. But yeah, anyway, the third encounter. It is spread into 3 kind of mini events, I suppose. You've got to reactivate some statues. You have to kill an elemental guy, an Eater of Souls guy, an Eater of Raid Testing, and yeah, because he didn't.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. I actually don't know how that boss works yet. I don't know how he works because every time we've killed him, it just bugged and instantly died.
Well,
So-
I can explain that part because it didn't bug for me, sadly. So I lost time in the race, you know.
All right. Well, in that, yeah, sure. Let's go there then. Let's go through these events. Let's go through these events one by one. Let's start with the Eater of Souls. Let's go.
So actually, it is a nerfed encounter from the Living Story. That's the first thing we should talk about because people found it. No, just kidding. No, actually, the way it works is, and that's something that I really like in raids, is that they have this tendency before one boss encounter to give you a mechanic that will be useful in that encounter afterwards. Basically, the mechanic of the Eater of Soul is the same one as you would have when you go up at the Doom encounter. So what you do is you go in there, you bash him, he will free up some energy, and there will be a spider that you can kill, and then you will get these 5 orbs. Then you bring them to the one floor part that is illuminated, put all the orbs there to charge it, kill the boss once again there, and then he will release some spirits. One person goes up, catches them, and once you have caught enough to fill the bar, the encounter is over.
Well, there you go then.
It's extremely simple, and it is a total warm-up for Doom, which is what I like.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's going to be a hard mechanic in the encounter. They explained it to you before.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Exactly.
It's good design.
Guardian,
Good design there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good design.
It is good design. Yeah, I completely agree. I think the way they've done this and how it prepares you for the final fight is really good. It's a kind of a shame we didn't get to experience that the first time round because we actually the first time we killed him twice and he instantly bugged, and the second time we killed him once and he instantly died. So it was a great clip, dude. Like we have an unbeatable record for Eater of Souls, like actually unbeatable record. He died in like 10 seconds. So yeah, good luck beating that one, guys. It is a challenge. Can you do that in 10 seconds or less? Let's go. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, ArenaNet is really good with the symbols they use. For example, the green circles, like they use. Since Wing 1, they always tell you with a green circle that you have to enter it, right? Like you have to stand in the green circle. Like it's so good.
Green
actually.
is friendly,
and
right?
Orange bubble is basically, like the orange bubble, it keeps you safe. It's the same in the escort event. It's the same on Doom later as well. Yeah. It's like they're always using the same symbols so people actually understand without giving you like a tutorial or something. So like design-wise, they are really clever actually. And, like the way they do stuff.
a lot of the visual indicators when you can actually see them are really, really great, right? It's kind of, you can just look at the colors and look at the indicators. You can kind of figure out vaguely what to do, right? And that's a real testament to the game, right? Because well, if you look at something like World of Warcraft, right, that you even have stuff like the dungeon journal where you can list all the mechanics and what you're supposed to do. But in Guild Wars 2, you have nothing, but you're still able to kind of figure it out and get to the bottom of it quite quickly just by looking at it and experiencing it, right? So it is a real testament to ArenaNet's, to the raid team's design choices, right? Their design capability to get the job done, and produce encounters there are kind of easy to figure out after a little while. Bam. Well then, what else have we got? Then we got the ice elemental, man. What
the ice elemental.
What was the actual name of that? I forgot.
Broken King.
The Broken King.
Oh, Broken King.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you that will be
actually the
King...
encounter isn't broken, so that's good.
It's not broken. It's King. I don't know. For all the lore buffs, that's almost certainly King Frozenwind from Guild Wars 1, the Guild Wars 1 Underworld. So there you go.
I'll have to watch the Wooden Potatoes video on this because I have no idea what you're
seriously,
talking about.
Guys, seriously, there's going to be one hell of a Wooden Potatoes video on the raid lore, man. It's going to be
7 hours long.
It's going to be
without any breaks, he's just going to go at it.
It's going to be feature length.
Yeah.
Feature length.
Well, Sam, the Broken King is actually broken though. You can, like, if you die, you can just relog and then re-enter the fight again. Yeah, you don't respawn, but you can just on the whole, like on all of the three status events. If you die, you can just like relog basically to another character and re-enter the raid again, and it works. It's so easy.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you discussing exploits on the stream? I'll have to report you to the authorities, man.
Okay, like you can report me. I even uploaded a video about that. The thing is, like the thing is, I don't think it's an actual exploit. It's intended because I think that fight is intended to like the group split in two. Like the achievement basically says this, right? Like finish all 3 encounters within 5 minutes. So like, and as said earlier, like if you have too much damage on the Broken King, the fight becomes impossible. So I think you're supposed to send like 5 people to the Broken King and 5 people to the Eater of Souls. And then, like, once both are done, basically, they meet in the middle again, and then they go together to the cave.
Well,
that's
it's even.
I saw this executed a little bit differently. The timer only starts after you defeat one of the events. So you just start with the Broken King.
Wait, what?
Start with the Broken King, and then go to the Eater of Souls, and then end with the eyes.
But why not do both? But why not?
If you do both at the same time, you just save time, right? Like you kill basically both 2 bosses at once, like. I don't think you can actually. Maybe you can, but I don't think you can like kill the Eater of Souls without him being buggy, and the cave within 5 minutes.
I mean, you probably can if people play correctly.
There's a video of it right now.
I have to check it out then.
Yeah. I mean.
That's a classic one-up. This is impossible. Just one-up things.
Impossible.
100%.
No offense, man.
No.
But
they do it in like just seconds before the 5-minute timer. But
if you do it separately, I think it will be quite easy. Though you know what you could do though. You could even start with the eye event, right? Because the eye event takes a fair amount of time. You could do the eye event first, then just instantly GG, and then go do the other events as well. Like,
how do you kill the Eater of the Broken King so fast? Like if you have damage, you can't. You will just die. People have 3 stacks and they can't go to the green anymore. So you have to take your time with that fight, and the enrage time is 4 minutes.
Only 5. Have only 5 people.
You want to start. You definitely want to start with the Broken King.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Because after that dies, and like you can fail on that a million times, and then
but
after it dies.
The problem that I have with that is that right now there is a huge bug on the eye event, which can be rather game breaking. In that if you DPS one too fast and then the other team takes too long on the other, the encounter just bugs altogether. So actually the achievement is such a pain to have right now. You can't just surefire say. I got that again yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I mean, we just went, we did it once, it bugged, and we had all to relog and redo.
Yeah, we got. I mean, on our first go, we got stuck there for ages, man. We were just trying to figure out how to do this stupid eye event. we were stuck there for nearly 2 hours, man. It was horrible.
Yeah, you guys were really unlucky there.
Yeah, oh man, we reset the instance a whole bunch of times. It wouldn't work. It was really annoying.
Was it broken for you guys? Like,
yeah. Well, we did the Broken King and the Eater of Souls first, and we went to the Eye event, the Eye Maze. We just kept bashing our head against it, and it wouldn't. Like one eye would die, and the other one would just glitch on 0% and stay there invulnerable forever. It was just we had we had to reset the instance a bunch of times. Then we had to do the other events again because of course it didn't save our progress. So it was just ugh, big pain in the ass. But you know, I think they managed to fix it.
That's at least good that it doesn't save your progress if you're going for the achievement, because then you can just like
easy exploit.
Because it would suck if it didn't reset all the bosses and you were going for the achievement, but only then. Do you see the problem where you beat one and then it just doesn't? Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna leave it there.
No. I know exactly what you mean. No, no, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it would not be good if that was if that was the case. But I don't know. It's still a fair. It's a good encounter. It's a change of pace, right? That's a good thing, right? It's something very different. Because everything in raids, you more or less go around as a group of 10. And this idea of kind of splitting up and tackling separate encounters with the same group, but simultaneous, I think it's actually a really cool idea. I would actually go as far to say that I'd actually like to see a boss kind of like that, or like fighting two bosses at the same time, where two groups have to fight two separate bosses, and maybe players have to interchange between them at some point, right? So you have something like that, but on a larger scale. It's not just an event, right? And to a certain extent, it's kind of like that now, but I'd like to see it more extensively. I don't know. I don't know about that, but that's what I think. That's my opinion on that. Yeah. They're using Saronite bombs. Marty's referring to an exploit in World of Warcraft where on the Lich King, there's an item that was very common because it was a DPS increase because it was off the internal cooldown, if I recall correctly. Saronite bombs, you'd throw them at the boss to do extra DPS and weave them into your rotation, but on the Lich King, the platform's supposed to disappear, but the Saronite bombs would like repair the platform. So yeah, but a bunch of people got banned.
I mean, a bomb repairing a platform. That's very weird lore-wise.
Yeah. It's not on purpose. It was a weird bug. But anyway,
speaking of, because now that we're on the topic.
Oh, of weird bugs.
Was I the only one who got a World of Warcraft vibe?
What,
through this wing? I have never played World of Warcraft, but just the general vibe of it, it was just like, I thought the last boss, when we entered the hall at least, it was like the Lich King, his throne, all the green colors, the castle, and it was just like, this is the Lich King. This is the fucking Lich King.
Deroir, do you remember when we were at Gamescom, the Blizzard stand with the huge Lich King statue in the middle of it, with like the ice effect around it? This is exactly how it felt. Exactly. I was back there for a second.
It was ice. It was green. It was a blue armored dude with a giant. I mean, this is
giant
a scythe,
weapon.
But yeah, it was just like this felt like a World of Warcraft raid to me, and I have never even played World of Warcraft.
Yeah, even the difficulty was like
more.
I heard that as well. A lot of people were correlating it to World of Warcraft difficulty. Like, welcome to World of Warcraft difficulty. This is how it is. This is how raiding should be. Yeah. All right, elitist.
The theme is amazing, right? Like POF is all about desert and like hot area, and now we are like suddenly in a frozen area.
Like this is definitely my absolute favorite raid of all time, just because it's icy as shit. I love that.
I love the design. So badass. The design on it is amazing. And I mean, Arcane is right though, man. I mean, like, Guild Wars 1 did this first. Like, basically, this same environment was present in the older one.
But it didn't look like that.
It didn't look like that. It kind of did though. It looked a bit like that.
No. What are you talking about? The Arctic Wastes was so much different.
Well,
it looked so much more badass. The verticality, the creepiness of the environment.
They didn't have verticality, man. They didn't even have the Z-axis, dude. Like
exactly. But the entire Arctic Waste back then just kind of looked like a waste. It was flat. It was very just like the ice was just meh. It was very, I don't know. Maybe it was just me that got that feeling. But like compared to now, it has so much more feeling to like character. It feels like the underworld. It does.
Yeah,
it feels
it's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there have been leaps in design since Guild Wars 1, right? But the Hall of Judgment was there. Like, Arcane is right here. The arena is actually relatively similar, if I recall correctly, actually. The actual boss arena is actually relatively similar. But the major change is obviously Doom. I mean, Doom is completely different. He looks completely different because he's changed from a spooky cloak with a scary skull
new armor
to a giant guy in armor with a giant helmet and a massive scythe. So
he's a goat man.
He's a goat.
He looks fucking sick, man.
He does look fucking sick, dude. He's badass.
Yeah, the best looking raid boss so far, in my opinion.
Yeah,
even better. I thought so when I saw Demos, but this one just tops Demos so far.
Yeah. It's so cool. Actually, I just want to give a quick shout out to the voice lines on the Broken King. Like, I love the audio on the Broken King. There we go. That's it. Anyway, no.
That's a good one.
on the Broken King or in Doom?
On the Broken King, his audio is so good, dude. He has this weird, distorted voice. It sounds awesome.
I don't even remember it.
Like the music throughout the raid is also very good.
Yeah,
like the encounter music is super solid, but when you're just outside, like between events, and just listen to the eerie noise that's around, it's just so good. Like the immersion is real in that way.
Yeah,
I actually bumped the sounds up because it was good.
Immersion.
It's extremely good. Again, it's so good that we've had fresh music for the raid. Like, when it comes to the actual atmosphere, the environment design and the sound design, Arena have really nailed it on this one. Like, it's really, really good what they've managed to accomplish here. So, hats off to ArenaNet. Yeah, it is a bit of a Lich King vibe, but in fairness, Arena, Guild Wars 1 did it first, XD. So, although you could argue that it's been around since
did they though?
3,
yeah,
so.
like the reason why, the real reason why I even know the Lich King was because I played the old games, the Warcraft games.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never played World of Warcraft, so did they actually do it first? I mean,
yeah.
Took inspiration from who here?
Yeah, everyone's stealing everyone's stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have at least seen the cinematics, right? Like, even if you don't play World of Warcraft, you watch the cinematics. Everyone does so.
Everyone's seen that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
called marketing, ain't it? By the way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about marketing.
Oh my.
No. Let's avoid that subject.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. That post is a meme.
We're on for the
night. That post is a goddamn meme. Anyway, that aside, shall we talk about the big boy, Doom Big Boy?
We're already talking about him, but
Let's go. Let's go.
The edgelord
It's the last boss. He's a big boy. He's got a giant scythe.
Incarnate.
Please no, guys.
The ender of all.
I'm done. I have PTSD about Doom.
Doom.
I wish I did.
This boss is.
I wish I had PTSD of him.
No, you don't.
Hours to have PTSD yet.
Dude, you know what? Just be the kiting druid. Just be the kiting.
It's not even too bad.
I
did as well. And I did yesterday with Salt when we were raiding TeaPot and
How
stuff.
many hours?
Well, in total, like our first kill took us 15 hours, I think, and
Were you
half of
kiting
that. No, like half of that, like half of the time, Morbazan was kiting. But later, when we switched to like Heal Ellie, then I started kiting. But yesterday, I don't know how, I was like 4 or 5 hours with TeaPot, and I don't know. Doesn't feel too bad because it's not actually like demos, right? Like it's more like Sabbatha. You go back to the group, you heal, you do your shit, and then later when this messengers spawn again, you leave the group. It kind of feels like flag kiting, and I kind of enjoy flag kiting.
Yeah. Well, it's more engaging than hand kiting, right? You actually get to do something.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing which I hate in the Doom encounter is like the 2-minute pre-event until the boss spawns. That's like. I just hate that. Like, if they would, I mean, the 2-minute pre-event, it basically teaches you the fight, but I think they should just make it a pre-event like they did on Veil Guardian or something, and not actually like every time you wipe, you have to do the 2 minutes shit.
That's what took my sanity as a druid kiter. Just the first 2 minutes where you just have to take the messengers one by one. This killed me.
And it's like the same.
I did
as
it
I
for
said
40
before.
hours. I'm done.
You can't speed it up, and when you kill the skeletons too fast, you go to the position where the next skeleton will spawn, and then you wait there until it spawns. So I actually hate encounters where you have to wait and do nothing, and this one is kind of like that. Only in the first 2 minutes, though. Like, after that, the fight becomes 10 out of 10 in my opinion, but until the first 2 minutes, I don't know, they're kind of boring. you just run around and do the same thing over and over again, and then you wipe, and there we go again.
But it's a very important, like, I have to point out, as horrible as the first 2 minutes is, and especially to repeat over and over again, it's a very important mechanic for players to be slowly introduced to, like the whole going up in the air and all of that stuff, getting all the little details out of the way before the boss comes. Because imagine if you just walked in and everything just hit you right in the face. That would have been an even bigger clusterfuck, because you had to figure out the boss and the hands and the greens and everything, just like, yeah,
but it's like, as we said before, right, they have to introduce this like in an earlier encounter, or like in a pre-event or something. Like, for example, the Eater of Soul, he teaches you how you go up and you collect the souls and stuff. But the Broken King, he has like complete different mechanics. They could give him some of the Doom mechanics, like, I don't know, the skeleton or something at least, you know. And or the eyes, like, then you would have a pre-event which actually teaches you the end boss. And then you go to the end boss. It's like Veil Guardian, right? Like, if you start Veil Guardian, in my opinion, like, I always think the Veil Guardian is the perfect boss, because everything it does right. So, like, you have the 3 guardians at the start, and they teach you something. Yeah. Like, they teach you the mechanics, but they teach you them one by one. And then you go into the fight, and then you have all the mechanics at the same time. And that's how it should be, in my opinion. And like, it becomes really tedious if you do it like for, I don't know, like, I can't imagine doing it for like 36 hours and then wiping and doing this pre-event over and over again. I would like go mad so bad.
That's the PTSD, man.
Yeah.
Like, I would just like that that would be the pre-event, that it would be separated from the rest.
Yeah.
That would be much, much better.
On the other hand, like, I can understand what Deroir said, because this raid is so punishing. Like, the 3 DPS classes, or 3 classes in general, they have to take the greens and go up, right? Like, so it's kinda like Sabbathar, where you have to take the cannons and you do a mechanic somewhere alone. And the difference is, if you fuck up, like, if you fuck up 1 green, the whole group wipes. So it's like Sabbathar, when someone misses the cannon or can't throw the bomb, everyone wipes. And the 2 minutes, they're basically practice to like train your warm up, or train your brain to keep on doing the same thing over and over again.
I think one of the key things that really highlight this fight to me as being probably one of the best encounters ArenaNet has ever made is that it fulfills the trouble of like filling in personal responsibility for literally the entire raid group.
Yes.
Everyone has to be on point. Nobody can just half-ass through it. I mean, sure, you kind of can compared to others, but there is personal responsibility. And if you are targeted with one of the mechanics and you don't know what to do, you are going to fuck up the entirety for everyone. Okay. And we kind of got a taste of that with Demas. It was like, yeah, don't touch the grays.
Yeah. But now if every mechanic, now imagine if every single mechanic was like that.
I see a lot of pucks being kicked already.
Woo.
Like, actually,
I love it. I do.
That's the one thing that I like, though, about the kiting druid role, is that technically you're free from the squad. You're like the jack of all trades. You have no specific responsibility apart from kiting the messenger and making sure that circle is healed, after all. I mean, we called it circle because that's what we put there, but like the one at the entrance of the room, that's your 2 responsibilities, making sure it's safe and keeping the messengers away. But then that means that every time someone needs a backup or anything, you can just do it when it comes to going into a green. You can technically do anything in a raid encounter, and that's, I think, what I like the most about that is that since there is only 1 tank and only that role specifically that you can't skimp on, everyone else can just do whichever role happens in the encounter, can back up for anything, because it's not tied to having particular DPS. Like, you're not sent to do a cannon, for example. You're sent to collect orbs. So you don't have to be a DPS class to back it up. You can do it with anything. Yeah, and that's good design. Anyone can take any very important role in the encounter.
Also, Sam, like you said, you hate the hand kiting and stuff, but technically, if
I
all your...
never hand kited on DNS
Oh, not
because I
hand kiting.
genuinely hate it.
No,
That's why.
not hand kiting. Sorry, I meant the messengers kiting. Like if your classes, like if the people who go up, if they do their work right and collect both big orbs, then you will never have messengers. So there's that as well.
Yeah,
So if you do it perfectly,
Yeah.
you're okay.
I know, but doing stuff perfectly isn't necessarily what people are going to be doing. Like my biggest issue with the progression that I had at Doom was that in my guild, a lot of people actually had exams, and for some of them, real life stuff that they needed to do. So a lot of people
exams. Oh shit! I didn't. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what you said.
No, I said exams, yeah, and all the real life stuff. So they had to sometimes bail at 9 or 10 p.m. because they needed to get, a big chunk of rest before an exam. So we kept swapping people in and out, and that was the annoying part because you always have the people swapped on critical role. We never had the same people, for example, going up. So it was, backup 1, I failed, I didn't catch the big orb, etc. And that was the most annoying part. It's so going to be something where you will want someone to be experienced at the role still, even though anyone can back it up. You will want a dedicated person that will not fail it. So I'm expecting to see in the LFG someone who has to do the orbs up there, like an LFG 4 person specifically able to do this. Must catch orbs, or if you fail one big orb, kick or whatever. I'm waiting for this in the LFG, truly.
Yeah. And the key is, what is the minimum number of players? So you need the tank to know what they're doing. You need the kiter to know what they're doing, and you need to have 3 people doing green that know what they're doing. So you need like 5 people at least, right?
7.
7.
You need 7 for the last phase.
Oh, well,
No.
I meant like of people who know what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I thought you meant.
I was like, how many critical roles are there to the raid to Doom? Like 5 people, right? Yeah. Three green people, a tank, and a kiter is minimum people who have to do a specific role.
Yeah, but actually you need more than that because at the last phase there is the split.
Yeah,
you can't ignore that.
Yeah,
it's a hard cap of like how many people, how low being.
You can't do it with less than 7 people.
I actually think you can though. Like if you activate one seal or like one chain, you have a time frame. No, you can just like
so
what I did. Yeah, you can just blink to the other one immediately or place a portal or something. A portal might be too slow, but you can blink or lightning flash to the other one and interact with that as well real quick.
Are you going to do it with Deathly or...
I don't think this boss is doable, to be honest.
6 man?
No,
I mean,
not at all. Like just the DPS, the burn that you need.
Yeah, the burn, phase,
like it's just so important.
Right?
We failed it like 3 times. No, I think the 3rd time was the charm, and I got so fucking annoyed when I thought that we would fail it for the 3rd time in a row. Like that phase is so tight when you have a minor mistake to recover from it. Like, for example.
Never mind. Never mind.
What did you say?
Tiamat. Come on, man. Cut me some slack, will you?
Wait, what did you say?
Just go watch the VOD, right?
No, but like jokes aside, let's say because that happened to us. If for example you have a bomb on someone who is coming back from up, at the moment this phase starts, if you have a bomb on someone and then the burn phase starts and they have to go do their channeling, the bomb is going to explode with enough range to kill the 2 adjacent people. And that's really an issue. Like, I think the bomb mechanic should be scrapped and they should be cancelled the moment you enter the burn phase. Because we almost wiped because of that.
I'm pretty sure that's a bug, because it happened to us. The bombs happened to us yesterday, but not on our first kill.
Yeah, like the bomb just remained. Like one of our dudes said, I still have the bomb, and then we saw the adjacent people wiping, and I was like, oh my god, this is going to be a fake.
I was like, oh my god, because we went out to get the orbs, and the bomb blew up, and then 5 people instantly. Oh no! It's just, we managed to res people. Luckily, we were able to get the kill.
I nature spirited one, search and rescued another. It was such
horrible
clown fiesta, man. I can't.
While we are talking about bugs, there's another one. When you finish the first encounter, it's not a big one, but if you finish, like if you kill the soulless horror, sometimes the NPC doesn't spawn in front of the for the second encounter. So like you can't actually do something. And like during progression, so many people whispered me all the time. They're like, yeah, how do you start the second event? And I'm like, you talk to the NPC, and they are like, there's no NPC. And like yesterday when we were doing like the wing again, we had the same thing. Like the NPC actually doesn't spawn, so you have to reopen the instance, and you can't actually go on like without.
We had a bug as well in that the second encounter, the staircase thing, the escort, where the shield wouldn't come up.
Wait.
Yeah. So you just
start
the event and
healing check. You thought it was a massive healing check.
And you just get wrecked.
Yeah. Wow.
Just stack healing classes.
Good bugs.
Fine.
Good bugs.
Yeah. Just bring 10 healing tempests. Easy.
Easy.
Kill all the rifts and everything. Yeah.
By the way, guys, have you checked how often the CMs reset? Because I think there was something about the CMs resetting for this wing. Is it like? I think someone said something like that on Reddit, that they should be resetting on a weekly basis, or
wait, how can they possibly know that though?
Yeah, it hasn't been a week.
Yeah, I know, but like, I mean, am I the only one to have read this? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, was it ArenaNet that said that, or was it just a random comment on Reddit?
I think it was a comment on the AMA, like something about resetting the CMs on a weekly basis, and someone said, "Oh yeah, ArenaNet said they would for this wing."
They didn't.
I just saw this on the AMA. So like, do you guys reckon they actually said it at some point?
Well, I don't think ArenaNet said something about this themselves. Like some people must have made up something.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I have to say, I wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure I read.
I mean, it would be nice, right? But
yeah, it would be kind of fun. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing the first boss CM as the regular encounter on a weekly basis.
Yeah, or Mossad Overseer, Cairn maybe as well. Yeah. Like those bosses, they have like kind of easy challenge modes.
I'd say all of Wing 4 really. They're not too bad anymore. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, the free food though would be a bit too.
It would be insanely overpowered, dude. Like.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've got Mela is now saying that if CMs are repeatable, he'll kill himself.
Who said that? If CMs are repeatable, he must have Mela.
I don't blame you, mate. I
kind of Mela, you're fucking casual, dude.
I can kind of feel him though, like
the bird.
I can kind of feel him though, because it's already like, say your weekly clear is now 17. What is it? Counting, 17 different encounters. Imagine doing half of those twice. I mean, obviously,
you wouldn't do it twice. Though. You just do CM
by doing it CM.
No, you just do it CM first try, dude.
When you CM, yeah.
Talk one at a time. I can't.
We said the same thing. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you don't do it twice. You just do it once on CM.
Just do it on CM.
Yeah. I mean, are you noob or something?
No, but like, right, the way that they handle the CMs is that it doesn't count for the normal as well. The normal.
Yeah, it does.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah, it does.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
In Fractals, it doesn't. At least there's that.
What? Well,
it does.
Those rewards are separate.
No, they're not. Like when we have Nightmare as daily, then we just do challenge mode. Anyway,
the daily, but the final chest at the end is not the same.
Oh. Isn't it a totally different mob though? Is it different?
I mean, it is a different.
Yeah,
it is a different fractal, so to speak, because every encounter is different. Like, and you trigger it at the.
I'll stand corrected in case, but yeah, never mind.
No, I mean, your point was valid. You tried to make a comparison between two parts of the game, so no, that was good. I stand with you. I'm supporting you, and everyone is silent. This is horrible.
Anyway,
what are you catching? Well, apparently,
help me there.
Back to Doom. Back to Doom, guys. You know, let's have a little discussion about the mechanics of Doom. Like this guy is actually pretty difficult. I have to say, Doom is no joke, guys. But and also there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. This was what I really kind of liked about this fight, is that there's quite a lot going on simultaneously. Right? It feels a little bit, even though the encounter is actually quite slow and it's quite a long encounter, it feels like actually quite fast. It feels like you have to keep up with it, right? There's a lot of stuff going on at once. You have to be watching your position because his auto attack will delete you if you get hit by that. You got to be watching the boss positioning to not get wrecked. You have to be watching the messengers to make sure they're not killing one of the Reapers. You got to keep those guys all alive. it's madness, man. You got to go to the greens, and you got to be fast as well. You got to have that mobility, dude. You got to have that mobility. You got to be running all over the place in order to access the Reapers. So you got to be fast as fuck as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I think that was great design, and especially on the mobility thing. The mobility thing I think is really cool. Like the fact that on Guardian taking some stuff like Merciful or Judge's Intervention to help you get about the place, like the ability to have like one utility skill like a tech choice makes the fight way easier. That's this one particular skill can really help you on this fight. Like I actually really like that a lot because it kind of reminds me of why Necromancer is just not like shit. It's because of Epidemic, right? But now you have like Guardian Epidemic, which is Merciful Intervention, because you can just instantly teleport to the Reapers to go get your green and stuff like that. It's not the same extent, obviously, but having little tech choices like that is really cool, and I find it's extremely useful. No, not useful, but I think it's a really nice design choice that they've created this fight that values something other than like pure DPS. This is exactly how they needed to design it, I think, to make other things good, like other abilities and functions of classes to have some value. And this one it's mobility, right? Like being mobile is really, really advantageous here. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that. What do you guys think about this fight mechanically? How do you guys feel about this stuff?
100% too hard and impossible.
Pucks will never ever be able to do this. Wait, no way any puck will ever do this at this level. That's
well,
the
I
quote.
am 100% sure this raid is too hard. I'm sorry, what up?
Well, no, I actually right. No, I don't. No, right. Okay. All right. And I just want to. Honestly, we shouldn't be making fun of this because you know what's really funny.
I'm not.
Right.
It's just funny.
You know what's really funny? Because I am going to expose people. This isn't really exposing. They got worlds first, but there were multiple SC members who basically came in my chat while we were progressing and said, I think it was I think Target said, "What the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, how do you even do anything? Like, how do you even win here?" That was like 8 hours in, so everyone thought it was fucking impossible until they figured stuff out, right? Everyone was going crazy, saying it's impossible. I can't do it. It's too hard. I guess it's impossible.
It was before the Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this real quick. We've basically been conditioned to believe that anything should be just handed to us. And so when we're actually encountering some kind of wall like this, where it just seems like a clusterfuck, so many people, I saw a lot of people, not just you, one of them. I just thought that the screenshot was too funny. A lot of people just like threw the towel in and was like, no, fuck this. I don't know how to fucking do this. I'm not gonna do this. It's too hard. And the fact is, after a few hours at it, after a lot of hours on it, it's actually not that hard. And I bet all of you would say the same right now. It's a learn to play issue. It genuinely is. Yeah. You really just need to know what the encounter does, and the moment you do and you get the flow, it's there.
Yeah.
I think like all Guild Wars 2 players, especially like raiders, they aren't used to like fights this hard. Like, it's something felt wrong, like it was actually like different than anything else before.
Want hard content.
Yeah.
Hard content comes in.
Like,
this is too hard.
And to be fair, like all the Snowcrows members and like me as well on Teapot's chat when I wrote this was everything like we wrote was before people understood how to make the skeletons stop spawning. Like, because when they constantly spawn, this fight becomes impossible. Like, it just, you can't focus on the boss. You have to kill the skeletons, and then even more Doom messengers spawn and shit. And then you have the boss attacking you as well. Like, when I wrote this, all of QT was like, yeah, when do we actually fight the boss? We were just running around and doing this pre-event, and we had like 4 minutes on the timer and rage timer left, and we didn't understand the mechanic at all. And I know for a fact that like it was the same for Snowcrows as well. Like Teapot's group, they were the first guild, I think, who figured out this like bigger orb thingy.
Secret.
We know the strat.
Secret. I remember that on the
Easy
stream.
strat.
Okay,
We know the secret.
Okay. 100% honest right there. I actually asked Bladicus if he had any idea how to stop spawning the enforcers. I think it was like at 1 a.m. when we were going at it on our second night, and we were just like still trying to figure out how the fuck not to spawn them. And one of our guys was like trying to come up with every idea possible for it until we finally guessed that it was with the orbs after Bladicus said that it's the guys up there that take care of it. I was like, what? What is this?
What the? Whoa, he's exposed.
What the fuck?
Whoa, leaking salt strats. Okay, all right. Okay, well,
now it's an HP tech.
Disciplinary action will be taken.
Exposed.
I agree with
No.
Deanna though from chat. For example, like he says, the red orb mechanic is not obvious enough, and the size difference felt more like a random particle size, and that's what all of us thought as well. Like you would actually expect ArenaNet to make these bigger orbs in a different color if you actually have to collect them. You know, it felt like kind of random, and that's why all people it took people so long to understand. For us at least, like we saw on Teapot's stream. That they didn't have any skeletons spawned. So, and I was watching the stream and they weren't doing anything different. So I thought, okay, people who go up, they must be doing something there. Like there's no other way to make these guys stop. Then we just tried and collected. Then we figured out ourselves. But it's just so, I don't know.
I think the moment where we realized that there was a correlation was the identical colors from the bubbles that spawn the skeletons and the messengers have the same color and texture as the bubbles that you collect in the air. And that realization kind of sparked the idea that something must be happening up there, and that actually happened very, very early on.
Yeah. But I mean, Bladicus, for his defense, he did say he never did it, so he had no idea, but all he said was that people up do something, and that's the trick we needed.
Just gonna go kick him from the guild real quick.
No.
Let's get that done.
It's not the salt tactic anymore. We've stolen it, and now it's HP.
Now
tactic.
it's HP
tactic.
Yeah,
HP
strats again. I don't know.
The memes are real.
Unfriended.
I gotta keep them going, you know.
You gotta keep those memes going, man.
Yeah, but jokes aside, once you figure out everything, the encounter just becomes piss easy.
Oh yeah, once you figure out everything, guys, no worries, just figure out everything.
No, but I mean,
of course,
come on, guys. You know exactly what I mean. It's just once you get to the point where everyone knows how every little thing works together, the people who are on each of their specific roles manage it without any issue. It's just like the shackles when you start learning to deal with them, with one person saying, one person running away, or however you want to handle it, making sure that you're always looking at Doom when he goes to the middle. You drop a healing spring before because you're just going to instantly cleanse the torment. It's just so many little things. Once you figure out everything that an attack does, and you just have no issue whatsoever from that point onwards. Yeah. It's literally just a matter of figuring it out, and then it is easy.
That's what I love when you get a new raid wing or new raid, during progression. No one knows anything. There are no strategies,
figuring out
no
the strats,
meta builds. Everyone just tries to figure out stuff. It's so much fun.
Jokes aside, power spell breaker to remove the boons from Doom.
Oh. Yeah, we used that, but I don't know. It's terrible, actually.
I mean, we did as well, and it was pretty bad. And the Revenants saved it.
Yeah. And I like that. Honestly, that mechanic, the soul rip mechanic, is probably one of the best mechanics ever made by ArenaNet, in my opinion. The way you deal with it is just so good. The way you have to position yourself so you don't get knocked back that far. You got to cleanse the torment. You got to go get your soul. He's then got boons, so you need a class that can remove the boons. You don't have any boons, so you need to get your boons back, and you get sucked in. And then you have to kind of deal with the green at the same time, so you need to make sure you're in position so you don't get sucked in past the green or use a movement skill. That mechanic is so well designed, in my opinion. I think it's just such a gem of that encounter, honestly, and just a massive credit to Arena, and the fact that it's undistortable, unblockable, undodgeable as well. That is some quality memes. They finally look. So this is what I mean, right? The raid team have just finally thought, so whatever mechanic we put in, they seem to be using Mesmers to distort it every time. So they've finally figured out a way to counter it. Just make it literally unavoidable, and then you have to actually do the mechanic properly. Honestly, great design there by ArenaNet. One of the best mechanics in the game, in my opinion, and it's a lot of fun as well. And the best part about Doom is that, aside from the orbs sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it feels a little bit unfair. Like, you can do it very consistently, I think. I think you can do it very consistently once you get good practice and you kind of get a feel for it. Like, sometimes you can kind of get screwed. Like, you'll go for the big orb and there'll be no orbs near you and you won't be able to catch them. This might just be me. Like, maybe I'm a little bit laggy, but sometimes it feels like you can go straight through an orb while you're up there and just not collect it at all, which is just really annoying to me. And you have to kind of hover on them to properly collect it. I really don't like that. I think they should... Well, if they can, they should tighten that up a bit, because it feels like a little... Sometimes you can just get memed. Like, you can just like go straight through the big orb. I've missed a few skeletons because I just fly through it. Like, my spirit just flies straight through it and it doesn't activate properly, which kind of makes me... oh, feels bad, man.
Just make a char with the max size, because this way you will be fatter and it will be easier
to collect. But not as a spirit, dude. Not as a spirit.
Your spirit is bigger.
It doesn't work.
No, obviously, I'm joking. Come on, you could have gone with it for a second at least.
No, we can't spread false information here, mate.
My problem with Doom is like the RNG when he dives down. Like, you can't actually control that, and sometimes you have to leave the group, and or someone is coming from like he was collecting the spirits, the souls, and then he comes down, and at the same moment, Doom jumps on that spirit and stuff. Like, that feels kind of random.
You can mostly control it. Like, if you have everyone's stack, you can mostly control it. Because as I understand it, it is just random, right? It's just random, right?
Well, we tried a lot of stuff, like second closest and like furthest player. We tried a lot, and it seems random. At least we couldn't figure out something. Like, maybe there is a way to control it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be. But anyway, I feel like the fight is actually pretty fair. I don't think anything feels like, wow, like this is a bullshit mechanic. I think it's a really fair encounter, whereas if you fail, you kind of think, well, you know, I kind of deserved that, right? I had that one coming. If you don't dodge that attack, he gets boons. You can actually survive that. If you don't dodge his pool attack, you can, you fucking die. You can still survive, but it will probably fuck you up. He'll get the boons. If you eat an auto attack, it's like very well telegraphed. All of it's very well telegraphed. If you fail a skeleton, you say, oh well, we probably shouldn't have done that. We could have played around that, right? Or if you die to the soul rip, well, I was out of position. Like I wasn't in position. I wasn't with the stack, so I couldn't get cleanse and stuff like that. It feels very fair. And that's a really key part, because that kind of allows it to stay fun without being annoying. It's like, well, fuck that shit, stupid bullshit. That's really not the case with Doom.
One thing that annoys me though is when you have the AoE from his teleport attack. Like, it doesn't annoy me that it is practically a one shot. But what really annoys me is that when you try to save someone who is at the edge of it, they have to mash the dodge key to get out of it. And that's actually retarded.
It's a curious thing, actually. I'm not sure if that's intentional, because that AoE seems to proc way... Well, like...
It's an insta-proc the moment you get up here.
Well, you can escape, because we've been able to even on our run we were able to yesterday we were able to res, because as long as the person masses dodges in a few reses, you can actually get them out eventually.
Yeah, if they mash the dodge key.
Yeah, but it's very weird.
Because they need the invuln frame to be on the first frame of the damage they take.
Yeah,
which is retarded.
It's bizarre, because it seems to like pulse more often than it should. I don't know what's up with that. So it's really easy to dodge out. It's really hard to dodge out of it. But I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be like. Maybe it's supposed to be really punishing. Because if you get your soul back, you do actually get a grace period after you get your soul. So you can just run out of it if you get hit by it. So it's not too bad. Go ahead.
What I don't understand about that mechanic is, like, if he hits you, you still lose your soul, right? So you have to go back into this field and pick up your soul, and then you die anyway. So
you slash GG. The moment your soul is in there, you can GG.
If you're on the edge, you can actually just walk out. You have a small period of time where you won't die, I think. But if you're in the middle, you're fucked. I mean, you're screwed. Yeah.
Actually, the other thing that really tilted me is that when you are like trying to kill this, let's say you're trying to kill the spiders, you're at the edge of a room, and then the big central attack happens, and like by just auto attacking, your character turns towards the spider, so you get knocked by doing backwards, and if there is a circle behind you, you're pretty much dead as well. Like, the fact that it always knocks you at the opposite of where you're looking can be annoying. If you're just attacking something, the character naturally turns. You would have to disable auto attack to get rid of it.
Get good, Sam. Come on.
Yeah, I get good. Don't
Get
attack.
good. Get good.
I mean, I'm the Kaiser
Attack the
Druid.
boss.
Get good.
It didn't happen to me, yo. I'm the Kaiser
I'm just saying,
Druid.
like,
What happened?
I actually feel like that's a really cool thing, that it's directional. But it kind of makes it a little bit, I mean, it's a little bit weird that if you're looking into the wall, you get knocked back from an attack that's coming the other way. But it's a really cool mechanic in itself, that it's directional from your position.
Yeah.
But you also die if you like get tossed towards the throne. Like
That's
if you-
funny. That's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there should be like an invisible wall which stops you basically like reaching the throne or something, because it feels kind of unfair, like a dead area basically. It's not too bad, like it will never happen once you know that it's going to happen, but you can easily prevent it, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. This oh yeah, go ahead, Gora.
Speaking of the throne, the bench for the thing that you can buy after you kill him,
Okay.
the 2K whatever crystals
Gating
they're called,
crystals.
gating crystals. Whenever somebody gets that, I'm dying to see if that's an RP throne that you can just like put in the world, because it genuinely.
Oh my god,
I
that'd be
genuinely
fucking
feel
sick.
like
It would be
it's
the
just-
coolest drop ever.
Someone
It's
will drop it soon,
Doom's-
right? Someone will
Doom's
drop
thing.
it soon. They
I
must
mean,
do.
no,
Yeah.
Hopefully.
it's
Oh,
the rare drop.
It's the only thing I want.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
want
it's
that.
like the
like the
ghostly
rarest
infusion,
drop.
right? It's the ghostly infusion of the wing. You know, that's
yeah, sort of.
even more so. That's double, right? It's double.
Yeah, I would say it's even rarer than the Xera portal. Like if you look at the amount of shards, isn't it 2K to buy it?
I mean,
2K, yeah.
The only
And
but the only
50
difference
cap
was
We
as
that
well.
should make
Yeah.
it twice rarer than
And
twice
100
more
gold,
rare.
I think, as well.
Mm.
The
But
only
that's
difference is
nothing.
that,
Who cares
well,
about 100 gold?
Dude, that's
Is
like
it
all the
2K
money I have.
shards? Is it
The-
2K shards? Like, come on. Gate.
But the white mental portal, we already had like stacked up all of the currency for it, anyways.
Yeah.
When it came out, you could buy it instantly if you had the currency. This one you cannot. You are literally gated for 40 weeks.
Yeah. By the way, there is one thing I don't understand. Why would you ever want to exchange your gating crystals for the magnetite shards?
No idea.
Because they actually they allowed for this, and it doesn't make sense to me.
They probably just add it there as a convenience, honestly.
I don't know how it actually is, but I've heard that when you do challenge mode and you get the weapons from, for example, the first boss, you can't actually choose POF stats, but you can must be an oversight, but you can if you.
It shouldn't be like that in the Heart of Thorns things. Anyways, you shouldn't be able to choose Grievers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've never expected to be able to buy Grievous from like Heart of Thorns raid, to be honest.
But you can.
But you can. I won't complain.
No.
I mean, that allowed you to try them. It was all for the best.
So you can try Grievous. Have you guys tried grieving?
Yeah.
You guys tried
Have
grieving?
you tried grieving? Yeah, after a few wives that do.
You guys tried Nightmare Trapper? You guys tried Nightmare Trapper?
Yeah, Nightmare Trap is good, man.
What was I going to say? Someone asked me if there are any mechanics that are kind of too easy, and yes, there is. Unfortunately, Doom does have an attack he gets at 30%, which is totally worthless, and is more or less him doing nothing. He'll do a Reaper Greatsword 5 attack, which if you get hit by it will fuck you. I mean, it will rip your boons and screw you over. However, if you get hit by this, you are probably, I don't know, like a senile snail or something, or a dead rat. I mean, it does. You're not going to get hit by this. It's too slow. I mean, it doesn't do anything. And yeah, there you go.
Oh shit! I got hit by it during like our first
I
kill.
got hit by it during our first.
Senile
by
snail.
TeaPot.
Jesus.
Jesus, guys,
Dead
you
red.
can't just say that.
Exposed.
I got hit. No, I was going to get the messenger, and then he started pulling in my general direction.
Yeah, the same happened to me.
Right after the step 3, and I was like, "Oh shit, man!" Yeah.
All right, fine. If you're in melee, if you're at range, I can definitely getting hit by it. If you like happen to be at where it starts, I 100% getting hit by that. But if you're like in melee, if you're on the DPS team and you get hit by that, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Don't do that. But yeah, and then I guess the last 10%. I mean, the last 10% is supposed to be. I think it's there for flavor more than anything else, really. I don't think it's supposed to be difficult, so I'm not going to really count that as a mechanic as such. I definitely think it's flavor. The last 10%.
Which? Oh, the last 10%.
The 7 where you have to go and channel the statues. I'm pretty sure that it's not difficult. I mean, there's no mechanics there at that point, really. All you have to do is.
It's just a hard gate saying you have to have 7 people alive.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
that's how I
well,
basically.
Oh,
see it.
maybe 6 if you got a blink or something. I don't know.
Technically, you need to have more than 7 people alive, because if you only have 7, the burst is extremely awkward.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Awkward, or will you just have to do it 3 times?
You would have to do it 3 times, but the timer, mate.
Oh yeah, the timer. Sorry, yeah.
Timer,
it sets the
you
time
have
at
1
1:45. 1:45.
You have 1 minute to do 3.2 million, minus the time you need to do the channeling. So let's say you have less than 40 seconds to do 3.2 million damage, knowing that people won't necessarily have their good cooldowns available, that they won't have the boons when they come back and everything. It's extremely awkward. And also, none of them will have Scholar buff the moment they get there, unless you open by healing them. But getting Avatar while you are doing this mechanic is also very awkward.
Heal Ellie,
So
man, I tell you.
Heal Ellie, dude. Heal Ellie, man.
Disappear with your memes, go away.
It's not a meme.
It's not
Heal
a meme,
Ellie.
though.
It's not a meme.
It's the best class for progression,
Yeah.
I tell you. Like,
Yeah.
every group who does progression should use Heal Ellie on every encounter.
Yes, he did.
Druid will always be number
Hey Sam,
one.
you know what
in my
we
heart.
had? You know what we had on progression, dude? We had like all the support classes with Mercy runes, dude. How do you feel about that? Everyone with Mercy runes. Insta-rezzing
meta.
people. Fucking
I
sick.
do not think I own a knife which is sharp enough to kill myself, but I sure wish I would right now.
Dude, it was legit. Hey, you know what? Healing Tempest
Wow.
with Mercy runes, because when you put the res field,
Stop.
when you see the geyser, when you put that, the Mercy rune applies to that. So if you res people with the geyser, they res on more HP.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
These
The
tactics-
progression step.
These sounds like you've spent too much time in World vs. World, Teapot. It's time to stop.
No.
It's time to stop.
The res speed, man. Like, I was right. Anyway, yeah, it's Healing Tempest, man. You got to get that shit. You got to get Healing Ellie. It's OP, Sam. It's OP. So good.
I want to go home.
Yeah, see, there are a few other mechanics that I really like. That the tether, it's something we haven't seen before, right? Where again, its movement is a really big part of this. Like the tethers and the bombs, where movement is such a big deal here. Being able to move away fast to detonate the bomb and not wipe your entire group, and being aware of people around you is something that's just so great, man. I just love the design of Doom. It's so good. It's so good. You know, you have to be aware of your surroundings so you don't kill someone coming back or the Kaido while you're dropping the bomb. You have to instantly react to the tether, because if you go down with the tether, you're basically fucked. I mean, if you go down with that, like if the other person doesn't move, you're screwed. It's really hard to res people unless you react quite quickly. It's just such a great mechanic, man. It's a new mechanic. Got to spread out for the tethers. You have to be very situationally aware. It could happen to anyone except the tank. You have to move, get out of there, break that tether, and not die. It's just, I don't know. It's really good. I really love those mechanics, but I don't know. That's my opinion, man. You guys have any thoughts, final thoughts on those mechanics? And any criticisms of Doom?
I really like
It's good.
it.
It's good. Probably my favorite fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It could be I think it probably is
Definitely.
the best boss in the game so far that has been designed by the ArenaNet raid team. So good job, guys. Well done. A little bit of a clapper in the chat, guys. Let's go. And now I'm going to talk about something, unironically, that has been a meme up until now, and that is the accessibility of the raids, because it is 100% too difficult and will be nerfed, and pugs will never be able to do it. But I actually think with the advent of Doom, I think that actually is kind of a legitimate conversation to have, because I think Doom actually will be pretty damn tricky for a lot of people to get into until quite a while, right?
But shouldn't that be fine?
Well, it is fine for
I
me,
think
at
it's
least.
fine, yeah.
Yeah, but like even for new players, like for us, let's count us out of the equation here. But like for new players, there should be some feeling of progression, right? Because like the bosses shouldn't all be equal in difficulty. It should be an increasing difficulty, and the further you go into the wings, the more difficult it should possibly get. Maybe it can be argued otherwise now, but
Yeah, I mean, I would say the further you get into a single wing, the harder it is.
yeah, true.
And
But
you get
should they
different
all
ways.
be just like easy first encounters and then like let the pugs have that?
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean-
like there should genuinely be room for having a full-on hardcore raid, which is just like Doom boss after Doom boss after Doom boss. I feel like that should be what we should strive for, like both as players and as a community, because we want that sense of progression. We want something to strive for in this game, and if we can't, it just dies down and everyone says dead game. Dead game. There is no challenging content. That's what we had for the longest time, and now we have an actual challenging encounter, and people are saying, people even on our side are saying, this is too hard. It should be nerfed, and I don't agree. Not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. I feel like it should be hard. It should be to the point where even the hardcore players, as they are now, can't do it within the first 24 hours. That's good. It's good if you're wiping. It's not a negative.
1 week till the first clear would be amazing. I would love that.
That would be incredible. Actually be so
this
intense.
time it took a while. It wasn't first evening clear, at least.
Yeah.
Like maybe the next boss is going to be real hard in the next week.
Yeah.
Next living story next week, right?
Yeah.
No, I've heard like in the
there's
third living.
leaks.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's speculation.
No, there's an actual leak.
There's leaks.
I didn't even see it. The fuck.
Okay. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, in like what is that, episode 3? I'll pull it up here real quick. I think it's like give me a second. I got it. GW2 memes.
GW2 memes. You have a folder GW2 memes?
Yeah, exactly. It's called GW2 memes, and it's basically so the second map will focus on this is the leak. Second map will focus on the Inquest Palau Joko relationship and reveals the mysterious figure we saw this episode. Episode 3 is in Gandera and focuses on Kralkatorek. Second episode will have a legendary or two. Episode 2 will bring a new fractal, and episode 3 will bring a new raid. So that's in approximately 5 months. Approximately.
That's pretty good.
5 months.
That will be some nice cadence. I mean, it's better than 10 months.
Yeah, true. I mean, it also gives time for people to be really used to Doom and be expecting a similar tier of difficulty. Like when I went into Wing 5, I was like, this is going to be at least demos. Harder, possibly. That's how I thought the wing would be, and I've been proven wrong, which was great. But now in the next wing, I'm going to be expecting Doom level difficulty, and I'm going to tell everyone just to focus on their own personal mechanic, play it safe, take some seemingly bad utilities just to make sure that we will be able to cover any kind of mishaps that could happen. But like, it won't have the same feeling. If the wings were released much faster, you wouldn't have the time to be completely used to one before you get into the other, if you see what I mean. So that it keeps it fresh, the feeling of the wings being hard. Not becomes easy, then we get the hard one.
A bit off topic, but still kind of tangential. I kind of want to point out here real quick that this is not me leaking anything. This was on Reddit.
This is leaked purely by Deroir.
This is not me at all.
This is Deroir leaking this. I'm just going to confirm this now.
Oh, Jesus fuck. This was all on Reddit, and if anyone's been the propagator of that, that is Mr.
Deroir is in the game. He has access to the leaks. He's in the game. He's an NPC. This is fully leaked.
Did you put it, mate? I don't even see the link. The fuck. Can you also put it on Skype?
I haven't actually.
Say goodbye to your NPC, buddy.
I just saved the image from random user. He posted it on a comment on Reddit somewhere else. Yeah, I don't actually.
Random user leaking.
Random user leaking. Oh dear.
Reddit mod.
Reddit mod.
I mean, then again, if you watch random users' YouTube videos, it's mostly exploits and jumping around, breaking maps. So yeah.
Makes you think.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, the guy's shady, you know. Yeah. But yeah, like I mean, back onto what I was saying. I want like the least time you have between two wings, the harder it is to get like good at one wing before getting the next one. It keeps the feeling of difficulty alive because you might still be failing on one wing and you are getting the new one. It keeps the difficulty more present in your weekly clears than just being like, okay, this is easy, 1 hour 30, 4 wings, and then we get wing 5, and then we're going to get wing 6. After the wing 5 just takes 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Because that's how it's going to be. Like I can see it if we have 5 months between the two. that Wing 5 becomes a 20-minute effort in the week of the top players, and not more than that.
Yeah, and that is kind of a healthy thing for the game, right? Because it will feel like it's less stagnant. Because right now, well, before this wing, everyone was kind of just, I mean, people were quitting the game to go play Battle Right and stuff. You know, like, it was getting crazy. We were bleeding. The elitist community was bleeding out, man. But if the tempo was a bit faster, then it would be, you know, you'd be able to get some more action. I think it would keep people more engaged with the game and, you know, kind of try-harding a bit more. I mean, you know, 5 months is one thing, and I mean, imagine if it was every 3 months. Imagine if it was actually 4 raids per year. How good would that be, guys? Just imagine how amazing that would be. Think of the loot we would get in a year. How many exotics and rares would be farming every single, like, how many worthless exotics and rares you could get. Oh, it'd be beautiful.
Nobody in 2 years time, nobody would have any time left in the week to do anything other than just raid.
It would be so good, dude. You'd actually have to pick
clear
what
all
raids.
the wings.
You'd have to pick what raids you have to do, man. It would be amazing. Oh man, imagine if a full clear takes 6 hours if you do it really efficiently. Now that think of all those insights you could farm, man. Think how many insights you can get.
What do you think about ArenaNet releasing like a raid, a fractal, and like basically a map and the story to it, like in one patch?
I hated it.
Yeah, I think the same way.
absolutely hated it.
I'm not a
The
big
triple
fan.
release was shit. It was. Sorry, I have to say it. It was just like, I mean, I know it's good intentions and everything, and not everyone is into fractals or to raids or the living story and whatnot, and everyone kind of got. Can you stop typing? It's so loud.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I've been called out. I am spreading the leaks on my personal Discord. It's very important.
But it's like, yeah,
sorry.
The triple release was bad, especially for someone like me who really likes to play all of those 3. And it's just like, it's just a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck, and it also splits friends apart. Not like friendships, but like from doing. Some people are doing fractal, some people are doing the living story, and some people are doing raid, and it's just not a big fan. Not a big fan.
And like you always miss the AMA as well, right? Like you're so focused on the race and stuff. Like you want to raid and you want to do that, and then like ArenaNet is doing the AMA. You can't even ask questions and stuff. So I don't know. That's what I actually hate. That I can never like interact with them.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, we were all going crazy.
It all just feels so clumped together, and yeah.
I think it may have been a strategy though to kind of counteract some of the backlash for raids to a certain extent, right? So it's kind of everyone gets what they want at the same time. I honestly think they might be a bit kind of cautious around releasing a raid on its own, because then I think the casual players kind of feel like there's a patch, but it's nothing for them, right? With this, like everyone I think the strategy, like the mentality behind what ArenaNet did was giving everyone something, right? So if you think about it in this patch, everyone gets something, because anyone can do the fractal, right? The fractal is not, although in fairness, actually, the fractal last boss, I can see people getting a little bit triggered over that, because there's a lot of orange circles. You know, there's a lot of orange circles on those.
I saw a lot
cool
of
fractal,
posts
though,
about
actually.
this already.
Yeah, cool fractal though. I have to say, I do
It's
like
really
it.
good.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. But Jesus, the last encounter.
Yeah, man, it's intense. It's
Oh,
intense.
the last encounter is golden. The only thing that kills me a little bit, and I'll probably get over this, but the only thing that really kills me is that there's a timer in the split phases where you have to go on the walls, and I don't know if you guys have done it, but there's every so often you have to go on the walls and kill another enemy there, but there's a 30-second timer on that, which means solo is not necessarily going to be possible just because of that timer.
Do you
and
die?
That's the only
You
thing
die
that
after the timer expires? You just die?
I don't actually know what happens, because I haven't had it run out. I haven't tried solo.
I think it happened
but it's
to us.
normal
Like you
not.
don't die, but I think you have to, face her again, and then do the same again, basically. But I'm not exactly sure. I don't actually remember what happened there. But you don't die. I'm pretty sure, like, about that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing that I find pretty fun about that fractal is the inconsistency there is in the rallying between phases. Like when you do
some of them fully rest.
Atsarif, I can't pronounce it. The second boss of 100. When you do her, when you finish the CC phase, everyone rallies. When you do Nightmare Fractal and Solace, when you finish the Toho phase, everyone rallies. But in that fractal, the only time you rally is after you beat her when she's channeling the Death God power,
Grenth?
No, Grenth.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
only
right
okay.
there.
Yeah, nice knowledge.
Just like when you wipe at any other phase when she's gonna swap divinities that she channels, people don't rally. But after this one specifically, people rally. So I guess that's like nice roleplay, nice lore or something. Like you kill the god of death, everyone rallies or whatever. But it just feels very inconsistent.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's my gripe with the fractal. Like it's annoying to me, at least, because I'm expecting people to rally between phases and then they just remain dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's honestly, here's the thing, Sam. I didn't die. I don't know. So at the end of the day,
Mister is a big boy elitist. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Glorious.
I mean, I pugged the fractal.
Me too.
So, yeah, had people dying. No, people didn't die in yours. Bravo. Got the good pugs, man. Congratulations.
I just carried them on my necro. Easy.
Are you the kind of person to do 4 necros, 1 range of fractals?
I did. No. But,
Safe.
No. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Saihan is kind of baby raging about the visual aids. And on the air phase, is it the Duena one? Is it when there's like all the lightning? You could kind of make an argument there. It's like giant lightning strikes everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of a it's getting crazy, but I don't know. It's okay. Get good. Just get used to it. It's supposed to be chaotic. It's supposed to be crazy, but I don't know.
I really like the thematic of her being just like this super overpowered. Ben kind of explained it on a Reddit comment as well. The thematic is that she should be the biggest, baddest dervish of all time, and so she basically just has all the powers of everything and like so many different attacks. And I really, really like that thematic. It makes her very distinguished from everything else.
Yeah.
And it's not like any of the attacks really hit insanely hard in and of itself. It's the roll snowball effect. It's when you get hit by everything.
Yeah. Getting hit by 1 or 2 is not really that punishing, honestly. Like you can tank quite a lot in that fight and it won't kill you. But you do have to be careful though. I mean, you can't take everything. But it's not a particularly punishing fight in my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have a challenge or anything. It's just a normal one, so it's not supposed to be, right? But so I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it's a cool fractal, and just kind of as a kind of as a side and kind of a general thing. And this goes for the new map as well, because I did actually get to play the new map. I just played it this morning actually. Well, last night, this morning, same thing. Damn, dude, like the ArenaNet design team is just like the environment design in the raid, the fractal, and the new map is they're just completely amazing. I mean, like, how do they even do this? The new map is beautiful, and it's just so varied, and all the cool stuff there. You got the airship, you got the caves, you've got the the kind of the jungly area. You have the kind of the undead part of the city, and then the kind of like less corrupted and overgrown part of the city. You have the astrolarium where you find all this cool lore about Nightfall. You meet all these kind of, I won't drop spoilers now, but all this stuff is so cool and it looks amazing. And how I'm
genuinely surprised that how like diverse they can make the maps.
Yeah,
like
it's amazing.
It felt so different from anything else previous.
Yeah.
The domain of Istin, that is.
The
really
new map is honestly amazing. It's
and we
brilliant.
finally have open world metas. Holy shit!
Yeah, exactly. They put one in. We've got the new multi-loot, boys. Here we go.
I think we even have 2. Like I've heard people saying,
that's it.
They have like two events. Yeah. It's so
great,
good. Like
Great Hall isn't as good as Palawadan, which is what it's called. Palawadan is just like stupid.
That's such a good
insanely stupid in the amount of stuff you can get from it.
Well, it's not only about the stuff you can get. Like for me in POF, I didn't have something to do there. Like once I was finished with the maps, I was actually done. But in like the like I want actually maps where when I go to this map and there's something going on, like a big event, I want to join there and do some random stuff like Auric Basin and shit, you know, like. And I actually like that we actually have a map with a big event now, so. A POF map. I mean, we have other maps as well, but I mean, for the POF expansion.
Yeah. And it's a really good event. I mean, it's just linearly structured. You kind of go through it. Or randomly, linearly at least. It's but it's completely overpowered in the rewards.
It
fine,
really is. It's fine.
Mate,
leave it there.
Do you have any idea how crazy it is?
It's amazing. Well, I mean, I've done it. I've only done it once.
Compared to like everything else, it's just like miles above if you're actually doing it effectively.
Yeah, I think GC posted 60 gold per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think GC said that, and these guys are pretty damn well organized.
Yeah, I joined them at one point. It was pretty fun. Like not the guild, but an actual map. The rewards are at least going to be halved. Like the amount of volatile magic that you get is at minimum going to be halved. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, you get so very quickly. Very quickly.
I mean, if they halve the gold gain, it's still good, right? Like 30 gold an hour is like really good for Guild Wars, right?
It would be below Riba, I believe. Then, like I think Riba is 40 or 45.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
If you're selling and just taking advantage of everything. This is just the volatile magic. Like this is dumb. The amount that you get is dumb. You can convert all of it to tier 5 and tier 6 materials.
I guess it is time to go farming in there.
This is crazy.
Like, I haven't even been in there. I don't even know what the map looks like. I mean, I just did the story, and that was it.
Cflex here in chat says, is it completely overpowered? Is POF maps just bad? Like it's overpowered compared to everything we have in the game. It's that good. It's that good. So yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
It's pay to win, man. You got to buy fire to get money. Easy.
I'm gonna go out in there after tea time's over, just to have a look. You know,
you gotta check it out.
Just for the sake of curiosity, yeah.
It's not a bad strategy, right? When they have a like paid map basically, which gives like really sick loot, and like once we get episode 2, people have to actually buy it to play it. So
think about it. You gotta fund that X Factor.
Yeah, but no, because you can unlock the episodes even on non-POF accounts. So you can just like stack the episodes and just buy POF at any time, like for example for Christmas. Is that the issue? Like all my non-POF accounts just unlocked it fine. That was
but like say a new player comes into the game and doesn't have this episode. They got to fund now that they can't sell all the mount skins at RNG. They got to fund the game somehow else, right?
I mean, isn't it only 125 gems or something for an episode?
I don't know. I've never bought an episode.
200. I don't know. I bought all the episodes on some of my olds, and I didn't remember it being that expensive.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's fine actually. I mean, for the content that you get, the amount of gems is fine. Like you get the story, you get 3 hours of fun for a few euros. That's okay. It's like going to the movies.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, there are more expensive DLCs in every other game, so I don't think people can complain about
it's true.
It's not expensive. Yeah, it's not.
When we have a 2k gems mount, like you shouldn't be complaining about 200 gem
story.
Yeah, and
definitely.
map is huge actually in my opinion. Like so much content. I just wish they would go back and like buff the old POF maps a little bit. Like some trinkets, Harriet trinkets and stuff, they're quite expensive with the trading thingies.
Trade contracts?
Trade contracts, yeah, exactly.
But you can farm the trade contracts very effectively, so...
You can farm it really just like with your alts, doing nothing. The only problem is like if you're not going for Harriet trinkets, the currency is dead. It's a dead currency. Trade contracts have no other use in the game.
Can you get Harriet stat from the new map? Can you get Harriet stat from the new map on the trinkets you can buy?
No, you can't buy any trinkets from the new map.
Oh, you can't? I thought you could.
No, there's no trinket. There's basically nothing to buy in the new map unless you probably do the Brandstone research achievement first, and then you can buy all the weapons. or buy the recipes to craft the weapons. But other than that, there's only minis to buy and upgrades. I actually thought about that because the World versus World reward track, it gives a full stack of those Kralkatite ore.
Ooh.
But there's nothing to use it on. So except for minis. Okay. So again.
Oh, the new fractal trinkets, Rocker. What an excellent point. The new fractal trinkets, you can get any stat you like. Oh, it's so good. Finally, the oh my god.
Don't farm trade contracts or anything.
How long have we been waiting for fractal loot to actually be able to get proper ascended trinkets from fractals, man? How long has that been coming? Holy shit. And finally they put it in the game. Unbelievable.
But you gotta spend all your currency on the Miststock.
On the fractal though. Yeah, that's the problem.
This is your fault, Deroir.
Like,
what the fuck is this shit, dude?
You're too expensive.
What is this grind?
Okay, you gotta lower your wares.
I'm blaming Deroir for this.
Sorry, no can do, man.
The fractal god.
Set price.
I'm gonna have to grind fractals for like a year to unlock that, but I've gotta have it, dude. I gotta have it because it's like permanent account bonus. You motherfucker, Deroir. Motherfucker.
Yeah, actually. Like, on the bright side, I'm starting to do them again, so obviously I'll get there after a while. But I thought that my 20k relics would at least allow me to get, one of them maxed, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know about that.
That's fine. Yeah. It's okay. I won't cry. Fuck you, Deroir.
You only
By the way,
165,000.
Yeah.
By the way, can you get the concentration and expertise infusions from World versus World?
No.
That's actually sad.
Yeah, it is. It'll be really.
Can we get the World versus Worlders to complain on the forums now?
Please. I've seen there's a bit of Reddit post on it. There's a Reddit post on it.
For something now?
There was a Reddit post.
I mean, then again, their infusions are like way too cheap compared to what you have to do for the fractal ones. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
They don't have AR on though, so it's alright.
Yeah, but still, when you factor in the cost of AR, the fact that you have the stats on top of the AR just makes it so much more expensive. Like, it's exponential. It's not the same as in World of Sword, but you can just play for 20 minutes and buy an infusion.
Well, look at it from this side, Sam, though. Like, with having concentration and expertise infusions, like, a lot of builds will actually change. And, like, once, like, Quantify and Snowcrows upload these builds, people will get mad about these things that, like, builds actually require infusions now. And like what I would wish would be if the 5 laurel infusions, which give you only 4 stats, just buff them to 5 and like give them, like make them that they give nothing else. I think that would be good. And then like Freckle, the Freckles one would be really good because like on my main characters I always have the like +9 ones because I play actually Freckles with them as well. So I wouldn't need to change infusions all the time. But just to optimize, and like laurels, they would be worth more as well, right? Like right now, I have so many laurels, I can't do shit with them. There's like nothing to spend them on.
I mean, I don't know. Like min-maxing the classes with infusions is going to be something that the community will not like so much. So I am sort of expecting Quantify and Snowcrows to release builds with and without them. Like keep both versions available. Yeah. Because not everyone's going to go through the grinding of them. Like, I think to get full expertise for Soul Beast plus 13 concentration for Druid, which was what I calculated was the best, it took just an insane amount of matrices, like probably in the realm of 7,000 or 8,000 matrices.
Well, if you just go for the +5s, it's not that bad.
But can I point something out though real quick? Just in terms of the like putting out builds and stuff. I think like if people actually get mad about it, you guys like QT and SC or whatnot, you kind of just have to say you're probably not the target audience then. If you're getting mad about
no.
If the thing is like, who are you making these builds for, right? Is it to be super highly optimized, or is it for the general public?
Well, that's the idea.
And that's the question.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like when we made our builds, we wanted to make like the own like really optimized build, except some like druids and stuff. Like it doesn't really matter if you like min-max the druids, since the damage like doesn't really matter anyway, and you always overheal. So like you can't really min-max that. But like for the DPS classes in general, yeah. But overall, the community, like our community, grew so much that they just expect builds. Like they don't care if they are min-max or not. It's like since the meta battle the guy who made Meta Battle, he stopped as well. So if someone is looking for a PvE build, he will go to Quantify website or to Snowcrow's website or Lucky Noobs. So
Just expecting the French website now.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Wait, it's on you, dude.
Dude, fuck no. I don't speak French. That's a lie.
It's fake news.
Fake news.
Yeah. Well,
Do I want to trigger
Pe-
Reddit? Yes, I do.
People don't get it, man. Like they're gonna flame the builds no matter what. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but like,
I'm expected to get infusions now. Just do my casual raids. Disgusting.
But
I hope people
because you
won't
can-
expect them like puck groups and stuff. I hope they don't start like, ping your gear. Do you have infusion?
But I mean,
If-
they don't show up in gear, so
Oh, they don't. Oh, that's good.
no, they don't show up. And one thing though that really annoys me is that ArenaNet gave us the legendary armor being the like it was supposed to be quality of life because you can stat swap all the time that you want, etc. But right now it's being so annoying because you're gonna want to swap infusions as well as swapping stats every time you're gonna swap from one build to another. It's such a pain if you want to truly min-max. So you're basically going to be walking around with multiple sets of infusions in your inventory, as well as the weapons, the trinkets, and everything. It's just so annoying, in my opinion. Like, this is the moment where we need templates even more. And some that are compatible with legendary armor.
And let's get legendary infusions while we're at it, right?
Stats like
Jesus.
easy stat swappable infusion. yeah.
It's not even a bad idea.
Don't worry. You're joking about this, but actually that's something that annoys me to no end, and I'm really like about to go on Reddit just to post how much it annoys me and get downvoted.
So annoyed, I'm about to go on Reddit.
Yeah, man.
That was fucking good, man.
Right there. But yeah, no, like jokes aside, have you tried stat swapping the different infusions? Because I have multiple cosmetic infusions, and there is zero consistency. Some of them do not even show up in the forge. For example, ghostly infusion. Some of them show up in the forge, work with the old recipe for stat swapping, but not with the new one. That's, for example, the Queen Bee, the Aurelium, the Moto's infusion as well. You can like stat swap them, but not to the new ones. And then you have the fractal stats one, the one that you craft in the fractals. They can be swapped anything as you want, but you cannot swap the anything that is below +9. So the +5, +5, and +5, +7, you can't swap them. And then there is the bestest. The celestial ones, you can swap them freely to anything. That's the only thing that works without any issue. Like there is zero consistency between the infusions, and you're just talking about making legendary ones. Like, of course it would be amazing, but like, fix your game, ain't it? Just fucking fix it.
Make
it's horrible.
Legendary infusions, holy shit.
Dude, I'd make them like
Crazy.
insta. I would pour the gold into it because it just annoys me.
I'd pay gems for that.
Jesus. That's the wrong answer. Don't go there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah.
More legendaries in the game, please.
Eventually,
You guys
every
think-
single thing you're gonna have is purple. Purple
Yeah,
legendary
armor,
food. I'm
purple
still waiting.
Oh,
Do you guys think the
Metabolic Prime
we're
is
gonna be
still
able to
there.
make 2 of the rings? Coalescence?
Yeah, you can actually make multiple ones.
I guess
Do
you
you
can
say-
make
are
them,
you
but
sure?
they're probably unique though, don't you
Because
think?
you can buy the items for the collection from the raid vendor. So I'm sort of assuming that you might be able to do it twice or more.
The item for the collection, can you buy that from the vendor? Do you not get it from the chests?
You get them from the chest, but you can buy them anew from the vendor afterwards. Like they cost 1 game.
Now that's interesting, but
21 silver and 12 copper.
I think that's because of idiots throwing them out more than anything, because it's part of the achievement, and the things that you combine is into the meditation book, which results in the actual ring, the precursor. The question is, can you craft another precursor and upgrade it from there on?
Can't
and there's
says you
no
can't.
tab. Yeah, there's no tab so far
Card
that says
you
can.
can't, but then again, for legendary armor, before we got to
Exactly.
the last tier of the legendary armor, we didn't have the possibility to just make the envoy armor again with allies from the vendor. Like to buy the item with allies. So I am expecting that we might just be able, since this is tied to raids after all, we might just be able to do this anew. At least that's what I think of.
The thing is, like, I don't actually expect us to be able to, but I would find it to be a shame if we couldn't, because once again, they're gonna invalidate a long-term reward and just make it be a singular thing, singular obtainable object, and then it's over and done with. I have the legendary ring. Good, I'm done with the underworld. Peace out.
Well, isn't that cut to a certain extent? Isn't that how it's supposed to be to a certain extent?
Well,
it's a legendary, man. It's a legendary.
Yeah, true, but we kind of like the thing is like we have so many alts in this game, and there are just even on one character there are 2 slots for a ring. I think what they're like, I'm not saying that they should or what they shouldn't do, but I genuinely think that they're just gonna limit it to 1. We can only craft 1 from the raid, and then they're gonna introduce other rings from other modes. And I don't know. It's gonna be I don't know. It's still limiting. I just find it to be limiting. Because I just want legendary rings. Give me legendary rings.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get another one. I mean, there's probably going to be a ring from the raid, a ring from the story, maybe another accessory from World versus World, maybe an amulet from PvP or something like that. You know, it's going to
an amulet from Fractals, man.
We just have to wait.
From Fractals. Yeah. I was like something like that, or that's.
Like, I mean, I think that down the line we will get the possibility to have every legendary trinket accessible from every game mode, just like it was for the legendary back piece.
Probably, yeah. Well, eventually you get around.
Like, I mean, like in 2 years, possibly we'll have everything available, full legendaries.
Or just go full World vs. World mode, because apparently World vs. World is the only legendary that is able to be recrafted. Out of every single game mode, World vs. World is the only one that offers a system not tied to an achievement, thus making it repeatable.
How would our characters look like with everything legendary and like
horrible,
full bling,
shining mount,
terrible. with the spooky griffin that's got the black smoke coming off it as well, and then you've got like Aurora, you've got a legendary ring, you've got 10 infusions, 10 different effect infusions. Oh,
when you start stacking too many infusions, you already lag your game a bit, like by having so many effects. Also, speaking of effect stacking and effect breaking the games, have you guys had that issue with some of the mounts in the raid DCing players or crashing players when they're being rode? Yeah, like I had someone in my squad twice yesterday who said this, like. When someone rode on the jackal, the best skin for the jackal, if someone rode that, it would crash the instance for them, and they would like get a Guild Wars 2 has stopped working error and be booted out. Nice. I had 2 different players to which it happened yesterday at Doom.
That's why the Raptor is the best pet, best mount. It doesn't crash.
Raptor pet leaks.
Leaks.
Magics.
What?
Magic. Well, yeah, I haven't heard about that bug, I have to say.
No, I mean, people had it twice yesterday, so yeah.
That's kind of spooky.
Yeah, it's the Starbound Jackal, yeah. The Starbound Jackal crashed the game for some people.
Oh, that's pretty funny. That's actually really funny.
That's actually a good one, right?
Yep. I think one more thing I want to talk about.
Pay to lose.
Pay to crash the game. Nice. That's good, actually. One more thing before we kind of wrap it up here. We've talked about a lot of stuff today. Is kind of it's something that we didn't get in Fractals, which I just want to keep mentioning every week until it gets added. More enrichments. Can we please have more enrichments, please?
Yeah, that's the next step.
Deroir, why didn't you hook me up? Deroir.
Yeah, exactly.
My boy.
Don't worry.
Deroir, my lad.
I'm gonna add it in a future tab in my collection.
Don't worry. Your inventory, yeah.
My merchant will be your savior.
Yeah, thank you.
Jesus.
I will be your full-on enrichment go-to person as well. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's something I was really hoping to see, and we kind of have that. I mean, there is kind of an enrichment, but it's a Fractal exclusive enrichment, so you do actually get more loot, right? You get additional loot you get more encryptions, right? You
get a shit. The 2 most notable things that I've found, at least, are you get a lot of karma, like a lot of karma.
Yeah.
And you get extra relics. Those are the 2 most notable things, apart from the extra agony resistance and the extra damage, like percent-wise, which is really cool. Like overall, this is probably the best thing. Overall, for any alt character that I ever have, I can just go like 20 below on the amount of agony I need to buy,
or get more stats.
fucking great.
More stats.
Or get more
Easy,
stats.
dude.
That's what I'm going for my main.
Yeah.
I want those extra stats, yo.
This is gonna trigger me so hard because I min-max
Oh,
based on 225 stats added from
Why
150
you
AR.
gotta
This is gonna
min-max it
kill
again,
me,
dude?
mate. This is gonna kill me so hard because you're gonna want on the builds that we were talking earlier, the builds website, you're gonna want to say this is for 150 AR only, optimized for this or something. Then you're gonna have to re-optimize for each.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be so horrible. Alright, no.
That's
Fuck
the
no.
brief side.
Also,
That's what
we
need
can
for
buy
practice.
clovers now, right? Like
Oh,
mystic
yeah,
clovers.
that's
from-
really
no
yeah.
more RNG, boys.
Yeah, the RNG's
But RNG is
deleted.
good, but RNG
Yeah,
is good,
no,
right?
no,
I
Sam,
like
it's
it.
not. No. Ah, yeah, such a great
good.
change. Like, they did a good job. They did a good job, actually.
They actually did it really well. Like the pricing is really well established. Like it's 150. It's basically do 1 CM and then you can get 1 Mystic Clover permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pretty
It's
good.
150, and then you'll still have 10 spare relics to go. It's really good. Really
Pretty
well.
solid, yeah.
Yeah.
Well made.
Yeah, it is well made. Great job there. I think that is about it. Does anyone have any final comments for the tea time on everything?
I love that the Underworld is back.
Yeah.
Mad props to ArenaNet for this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. This patch
That
was
actually
really
a
good.
good patch.
Yeah.
DPS area updated as well.
Oh,
Now-
yeah.
Jesus, no, no,
Yeah, dude,
one of- no,
the
it's
100k benchmark, man. That's sick. It's
It's buggy, but overall, like they
No,
will
it's-
fix it.
Oh, Jesus, the golem turns around.
Wait, what?
Well, yeah, you can push. You can see like you have to give him stability
no.
actually, else you can push him around.
No, but also he turns around. Like, have you tried benching on Solve East? Like,
Okay,
you
I
stand
haven't.
behind it, you start doing your rotation, and at some point he just turns around and faces you again, and then you can see the DPS visually dropping down.
Almost like a real raid, right? So
Oh.
No, because when it's tanked,
Ooh,
it's
realistic.
tanked on the other
Realistic
side. You know?
benchmark.
Like, you're always standing behind. There is no issue in raids. Then this. It
yeah,
triggers
as
me
I
so
said,
much.
like it's a little bit buggy, but overall the like things they added, they're actually good. So I'm actually hyped for that as well.
Yeah. I would definitely echo that. Arena did such a great job. Like every aspect of this
Great,
patch has
great,
been
yeah.
very, very good. It did all come at once, which is kind of like, whoa, but hell. But
Yeah.
still, honestly, this patch is amazing. This patch is such a great patch. Like pretty much the best raid they've done, and
Definitely.
a great fractal, great map. Fractal rewards. They even changed. They added some cool features to PvP. Actually, we didn't even talk about that. I'll talk about that some other time. Actually, some kind of like some cool little quality of life stuff for PvP.
We have no PvP players here anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna do it for us, guys. Let's this is a part of the show where we shill really hard, and big shout out to our brand new guest from
Yes.
the most elitist guild, the most elitist battle right themed guild in all of Guild Wars 2. It is One Up. Tell us about yourself, about QT, where you want to shout out, all that stuff. Boom, let's go.
Well, I don't know. Like I'm just a member of Quantify, and I do guides, like PvE and raid guides, and that's basically it. Like, no, not the real content creator. Member of Salt though.
Yeah.
so modest.
Okay, well, the bot has posted a few links to Twitch, YouTube, and of course QT's website, so be sure to check that out. Let's see. At top right, it is Sam with another new icon. Here he is again. What's up?
Oh, come
What's up
on.
with you these days, apart from the new icon?
Well, what's up? I had a lot of fun in the new raids, and actually, this is the kind of content I have been making lately. I have been updating Ranger build for each updates over and over again, and hopefully the balance won't change too much because it's taking most of my time. Apart from that, I make gold making videos, and well, that's pretty much it. And I'm also a guest on TeaTime ever so often. I guess that makes it for the description.
I like that. That's concise. It's good. And then, finally, it's the guy who's going to get roasted in the comment section once again.
Always,
It's
as
Deroir
always.
Gaming.
I
It is
feel like
Deroir
what was still
Gaming.
comment from earlier is probably gonna haunt my haunt
Just
me.
tell us about your life
Next.
as an NPC in Guild Wars 2. Just
My life as an NPC in Guild Wars 2, it's very dull. It's basically the same scenery all the time. I just stand still. It really hurts my legs just to stand still in the same place all the time. yeah, it feels bad being bad to being just a merchant. Yeah. I need a bigger aspirations in my life. No, it feels good. Really cool. But yeah, jokes aside, you can totally find me in the Fractals and on YouTube and Twitch. But yeah, there's that.
All right, I'll get the bot to post those links again, and while you're clicking on those links, why not drop this stream a follow, guys? You know, we've got premium raid content. Where do the elitists get their strats from? From Salt, guys, okay? They leech our strats from us. We're the new HP, okay? Like Salt strats are the new HP strats, okay? That's what it is, okay? We got everything here. We got World Versus as well. We got TeaTime. We got PvE. We got it all. Follow the stream.
You know what lags?
Wait, what lags? What lags?
Mystic builds.
Mystic.
Oh god.
I'm working on it. I've already showed people a sneak preview, okay? So I'm working on it. That will be back, and we'll, you know, that we might even have some spicy PvP memes soon, I guess, because of that stuff. But anyway, follow the stream, subscribe if you really like me, or don't. You know, it really is entirely up to you. You could spend that money on something else, like I don't know, coffee or something. I don't know, or gems to fund the next expansion. Yeah, or you could spend that money on an account from one of our referral links. Am I right, boys?
Hey,
yes.
Well, anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow, subscribe on YouTube to all these guys. Watch them. Be sure to check out QT's website. There's a lot of work that goes into that, guys. For all your PvE build needs, will be updated soon. You know, if they can be bothered. I don't know.
I will update some stuff. I can't promise for everything.
And be sure to follow QT on Twitter as well. They got a whole bunch of followers. I think is it mostly you in control of that one up?
It's me and Subi and like the guy who makes like the website stuff. He posts updates about the website, but that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to check out all that stuff, guys. I'm also gonna post the links again, and you know that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good day. Okay.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.